Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Monday. How are you all doing? I'm Adam Green. This is No More News. Thank you for joining me today for a huge show, Monday, October 27th, 2025. The year is speeding by. Halloween's about to come up. Tons of stuff to cover today happening over the weekend. Stuff I didn't finish on the show on Friday. It's going to be a huge show, only made possible thanks to you guys and your support. Give us a like. We're streaming on Rumble and Odyssey. The powerchat.live/no more news link is pinned to the chat, live chat on the side and in the description below. Tons of important stuff to cover today. Nothing they hate more, Christianity. Some updates on that front. We have some high IQ Christians. The three-state solution, the prophetic Edom coming to divide and take the land of Israel. We have some Rabbi Dyer clips, Orthodox Christian J. Dyer, confirming that Christianity is basically proto-Kabbalistic spiritualizing of the scripture, and a bunch of other stuff. First clip, the ceasefire, the epic Trump ceasefire. Trump doesn't look very happy. Apparently Israel is attacking Gaza again, but they're saying it's a peacefire, but I mean, Israel's still allowed to defend themselves. They're still allowed to attack. This is a Israeli biblical ceasefire, apparently.
Jihad individuals? Yes. Yeah, look, you're talking about the strike against the Palestinian Jihad individuals? Yes. Yeah, look, Israel didn't surrender its right to self-defense. Obviously...
it's always self-defense. It's a ceasefire, but they killed somebody else. Well, they have the right to self-defense. They ceasefire, but they can still bomb and do whatever they want. Because it's always in defense. It's always in response to October 7th. It's always in response to the Holocaust. They're always defending themselves because they're persecuted and hated for no reason. Such a funny of a ceasefire. Trump does not look pleased.
The ceasefire is based on obligations on both sides. By the way, we don't...
See that face?
Hamas speed up the return.
He's grimacing.
Bodies. We still have 13 hostages, 2 Americans included. But we don't view that as a violation of the ceasefire. They have a right. There's an imminent threat to Israel, and all the mediators agree with that. You're talking about the strike.
Was it really an imminent threat, though? Look at Trump's face here.
About the strike.
Tell me.
Palestinian Jihad individuals.
We're doing body language reveals.
Yeah, look,
we are cooked.
Israel didn't surrender its right to self-defense. Obviously, the ceasefire is based on obligations on both sides. By the way,
there it was. There it was. I don't know. This was already an issue. He said, no annexing the West Bank. It's going to be a ceasefire. There, he's made the greatest deal in 3,000 years, and Israel is attacking. Not going to make Trump happy. Let's see. Let's not start right off with that rabbi. Actually, let's just go straight to the rabbi. Whatever. We're going to bang through all these. Rabbi says there will be no more anti-Semitism or free will when Messiah comes. He says anti-Semitism will end. We're going to make it illegal with the IHRA and the algorithms and the suppression if they have their way. The tears will be removed from their eyes from the hatred from the world, as the prophecy says. Remember when Roseanne also said that there's going to be no free will when Moshiach comes?
And I've heard people say that...
Friedlander. It's like Zoolander, but Friedlander.
I've heard people say that, repeatedly I've heard people say, there will never be an end to anti-Semitism. And, but that's part of the point of Mashiach is that, yes, there will be.
There will be. Only Noahide slaves, Amalek will be destroyed. No more anti-Semitism in their messianic age. Tikkun Olam, they will heal the world. We bless them. They will bless us as their Noahide slaves.
Semitism will end, at least in the perspective of people daring to put it in the faces of the people that everybody knows are doing God's will.
So people will still have these opinions about Jews. They'll just be intimidated and scared and silenced into not saying them, or risk of being destroyed or beheaded as an idolater and a blasphemer.
Well, there may be a few crazy people who keep it to themselves, but there won't be any more in-your-face attempt to shame Jews for being Jews. So, but that's in part connected to the way that Jews are connected to God.
Because they're the children of God, so you can't blaspheme God, can't blaspheme them.
Remember, just think about it logically. What is the greater miracle? That the master of the universe, the creator of everything in the universe, who can wield stars at will with one word or even anything.
Anything.
So that God should do a miracle is not really a miracle. It's his nature. That humans should serve him is miraculous. So the moment Israel serves God is the moment when miracles return. And it may not even wait for that, because God is merciful. The end of days is a time when people can no longer choose evil. In other words, the circumstances will create a lack of free will for evil.
Lack of free will. So is that what Roseanne was talking about? I'm looking for that Roseanne video. I can't find it. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Anti-Semitism will end. It has to reach peak genocide levels before the huge crackdown. The golden age of Edom, the rise in anti-Semitism, the dividing the land of Israel, the betraying of Israel, the Gog and Magog war, all the nations fighting over the Holy Land in the Middle East according to their prophetic prophecies that all converge. Trust the plan.
Of the gospel.
Rabbi Shmuley's daughter talking about supersessionism. Kirk Cameron and Doogie Howser. Wasn't he Doogie Howser?
We are commanded as Christians to support the government of Israel.
We are commanded to support Israel. I know the verse that Tucker Carlson's talking about in Genesis actually doesn't say Israel. It says that those who bless you, Abraham, this was before Israel, will be blessed by God, and those who curse you, Abraham, will be.
Doesn't it say Abraham's descendants, though?
Cursed by God. Jesus demystifies who the children of Abraham actually are. Being descendants of Abraham doesn't make them truly Abraham's children. It sounds like he's saying...
Is that Jesus or that's Paul? That's Paul the Pharisee.
Not all of Israel is really Israel.
Yeah, that's Paul.
Just because they're Jewish. The true children of Abraham.
Look at her
those
seething.
Who believe the promises of the gospel.
She's just like, you goy, you're such a wannabe Jew goy.
Instead of erasing our history and our identity as Jews, can't they just find like their own story?
They're not erasing it. They're not erasing it. They're putting it on a pedestal and expanding it and legitimizing it.
Their own identity, like stop stealing and copying ours. Of all of the...
Dude, I agree with her. Hey, goy, can we stop trying to be wannabe Jews? Can we stop trying to be the spiritual Jews? Can we stop legitimizing the Jewish fake covenants? Is that too much to ask?
Different types of Jew hatred, replacement theology or supersessionism makes me the most...
Or otherwise known as wannabe Jewism, Neo-Judaism.
Sick. It is like the most vomitous to me. I actually, when I listen to it, I start to feel dirty. They don't like Judaism, but they want to steal everything Jewish, right? There's the new Israel, there's the new Jerusalem, there's the New Testament, the new chosen people.
Circumcise hearts.
I have this amazing book of Genesis, and we're going to read it together so that everyone knows who Abraham's actual descendants are. Genesis chapter 12, verse 1. And God said to Abraham, Verse 2, and I will make you into a great nation. Verse 7, to your seed I will give this land. Chapter 17, verse 10, this is my covenant which you shall keep between me and your seed after you, to be circumcised every male among you. Possibly one of the most important verses in the entire Torah. Genesis 21, verse 12. This is when Abraham had to send away his son Yishmael. And God said to Abraham, it should not be bad in your eyes over...
Parisia, thank you.
$5 on Rumble. We don't need free will if we have Moshiach.
Right.
It's just going to be super awesome Jew worship.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yep, just total Noahide servitude, on our knees, trembling in fear, worshiping the King of the Jews.
Adam, I've been watching you on Off Sincerity Days.
Yes.
Would you ever revisit Palestine?
Sure. I don't like to say no to things. You only live once. So I would say, sure, absolutely. I'd be worried about it. I wouldn't take it lightly, but
the lad and over your handmaid.
I would try.
All which Sarah says to you, listen to her voice, Shema B'kola. Ki biyitzchak yikare lecha Zara, because it is with Isaac. It is Isaac who will be called your seed. Your seed will go through Isaac, who has been living in Israel for 3.5.
The New Testament makes the same argument. What is that verse? I'm pretty sure Jesus makes the same argument, or Paul does, about chosenness coming from Isaac and not Jacob.
1,000 years, the Jews. Who's been circumcising their sons for 3,500 years? The Jews. And who are direct descendants of Isaac?
Who's been generally mutilating our 8-day-old babies for 3,000 years, according to ancient superstitions? Jews.
Stereotyping Jews is terrible.
Chosen, and then Jacob. The Jews. The Jews have lived and died for our Judaism, to carry on our identity, our story, our history, our relationship with God, our Torah. How dare you try to steal that from us? Find your own story.
They didn't steal it. They is the Torah. Hold on. Is the Torah not for everybody? What's her name? I thought the Torah was for everybody, and they're meant to read the Torah and just become Noahides. What's this you crying about them stealing your Torah? The law must come forth from Zion is what that Torah says. So she's just seething so hard about these wannabe Jews trying to steal her special girl status. That's what it really is, huh? Just a Jewish infighting, two groups fighting over who the chosen people are. Now listen closely. This guy, Jimmy Evans in The Tipping Point, with Jimmy Evans, The Tipping Point, has a nice little
This is
clip here explaining this is the narrative, this is the prophetic script, this is what's happening with the rise of the narrative of the rise of anti-Semitism in Edom. This is the blueprint that we're being taken through.
This is Revelation 19, Zechariah 14, the second coming when Jesus returns to the Mount of Olives. This is where he comes and destroys the nations of the world that have come against Jerusalem. And so Jesus himself destroys them. He says, I'm going to come into judgment with the nations of the world because of two things. The way they've treated my people.
Jesus is going to come and smite the nations for the way they treated his brethren. That's what they all say.
And they've divided up my land.
Dividing the land. The rise in Christian anti-Semitism and the dividing of the land of Israel, which they're going to say Trump is doing with these peace deals and his Gaza rebuild. And now with these calls from his surrogates, Alex Jones and Steve Bannon, to rebuild a Christian 3-state solution.
Now look at what's happening in the world right now. Look at what's happening. The Jewish people, there has never been, I don't believe, this level of anti-Semitism in the history of the world. And that is.
They're just running studies and articles in all the press about anti-Semitism on X has exploded to more than any time in history. Anti-Semitism is more rampant than any time in history. That is the headlines. That is the history books being written from those mainstream media press headlines. That is the narrative everywhere. It's 1930s Germany. It's medieval anti-Semitism. It's blood libels, satanic conspiracies, being boosted up all by all the big tech algorithms, by the way. All of them. X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all the kosher, satanic Christian conspiracies or worship. People are completely trapped in the Judeo paradigm.
This level of anti-Semitism in the history of the world. And that is saying a lot because there's been anti-Semitism many times. What's happened since October 7th is satanic. There is a satanic spirit of anti-Semitism. Satan hates the Jewish people for many reasons, but because they prove the existence of God. Israel is the only.
See, so this is Esau and Amalek are satanic, hating the Jewish people. You oppose the Jews, you oppose the Torah and their chosen covenant and their Moshiach ruling the world. You are satanic and evil. This is the inversion that's going on with this religion that's legitimized. This guy's got 500,000 followers, I think. Maybe it's 250,000 followers. There are thousands of guys just like this, end times fanatics all over the social media platforms. all over the churches, all over the world, all the different denominations. We got Russia, Ukraine, and America all running military ads praying to the same fake Jewish God to go to war for blessings for the big war that the prophecies foretold. I mean, are you not entertained?
Welcome to the real world.
Nation that God ever created. And it proved the existence of Israel proves the existence of God. Also, that's where Jesus came from. Satan's ultimate enemy came from the Jewish people, and he is a Jew. So Satan hates the Jews. He wants to destroy them. The nations of the world are coming against Israel as never before.
All the nations at the United Nations trying to acknowledge a state of Israel. Didn't I tell you this is what they'd all be saying? This is the prophetic turning, the covenant of many with Trump for the peace deal, dividing the land. All the other nations trying to acknowledge a state of Palestine.
For the United Nations is the largest anti-Semitic body in the world, and they're against Israel. They censure Israel and come against Israel more than all the other nations of the world combined, ignoring Russia, ignoring North Korea, ignoring Iran, ignoring China, all these other violators and criminals. They ignore them and attack constantly the nation of Israel that's simply trying to exist. Armageddon, Joel chapter 3, Armageddon is God's response to what's happening right now. The mistreatment of the Jewish people and the division of the land of Israel. And this peace treaty formalizes it. It formalizes a two-state solution. If these other conditions are met, which they won't be, if these other conditions are met, it's going to formalize a two-state solution. So God's angry. God is so angry at the division of the land of Israel, he's going to gather all the world together. This is like a United Nation force that comes against Israel. He's going to destroy them when he returns. This is God's response. So this is God's response. So this is a God problem.
And the Christian says that this is what Jesus is going to do. You got an Israel problem, you got a God problem.
So this is God's response. So this is a God problem. When you divide the land of Israel, you've got a God problem. The second God.
When you divide the land of Israel, you've got a God problem. Did I not call that Trump doing all this? Is they're going to claim, God's vengeance is coming on America because Trump did this peace deal and is dividing the land. Now let's go find the Alex Jones and Steve Bannon clip where they're talking about building a Christian empire in the Holy Land.
We're not trying to hurt you. Just
the Israel First crowd and the evangelicals that back the Israel First crowd, you guys brought this on. Oh.
We got a Yahweh problem. That is true. We do have a God problem. If you have a Jesus problem, if you have a Moshiach problem, if you have a chosen people problem, you have a God problem, and we have a God problem. We have a fake Jewish God problem.
Oh, Bannon's so hard. He's so tough. He's so mean. Well, I'm just giving you the facts the way they is. This greater Israel project of Netanyahu blew up in his face by the president of these United States. And now you got what you got. Now you have to go to a three-state solution, and one of those states has to be, wait for it, the Christian state of Jerusalem. We need a Christian state in the Holy Land. You just need it. Make sure 20, 25 years, 30 years from now, everything's kind of sorted.
They're coming for the Holy Land. They're trying to steal God's promised land from the Jews now. And Alex Jones is all for it.
And I saw this video clip on Infowars.com. I was like,
but you guys want to go grab your swords and go live in the desert? You want to go make Aliyah to a country that you didn't even come from? You guys are European. You don't want to go back to our European holy lands, our European homelands. No, they want to go have a state and live in the desert where the Jews are from. Because they believe in Jesus. That's where Jesus is from.
Wow, why did I never think of this?
This has been a meme online forever, by the way. He acts like Bannon's the first to talk about it. I've seen this meme forever. Christians say the solution is the one-state solution, and then it's just all across, is what they say, normally. Crusade, modern-day crusade.
And as patriots and as Westerners, we've been taught it's kind of not cool to stand up for ourselves. It's kind of not cool to stand up for our rights. It's kind of not cool to speak up. But
yeah, Christians are never speaking up. That's what Christians are known for, never opening their mouths about Jesus.
why don't Christians?
Oh yeah, Bannon's calling for a Christian empire in the Middle East. He's calling for Trump to have a third term. Also,
Just like the Muslims do, demand their state. Christianity was the dominant force till about 500, 600 years ago in the Middle East. We've been pushed out. So have the Jews have their homeland. Have the Muslims have their...
Have you lived in the Middle East? Were you pushed out of Muslim countries? What's this? We've been pushed out.
Homeland there, though they've got the whole region. But Christians are peaceful, not one terror attack, not one issue, and they're having their lands...
Hold on. Did he really just say Christians have never done a terror attack? What about 9/11 was an inside job? They're not Christians? There was no Christians involved with that? No Christian Zionists involved with that? He really thinks a Christian never has done a terror attack. That's a crazy lie.
To go in the Middle East. We've been pushed out. So have the Jews have their homeland. Have the Muslims have their homeland there, though they've got the whole region. But Christians are peaceful, not one terror attack, not one issue, and they're having their lands taken by Jewish settlers, which even the U.S. ambassador to Israel a few months ago, who's basically a Christian Zionist, Governor Huckabee, I don't dislike him as a person overall, but I mean, he's picked his side.
Don't Christians bomb abortion centers?
Agree with this. Steve Bannon just said
that's not terrorism.
In Bethlehem and in the West Bank and in the areas of Gaza and all those, we need to pick an area or zones. You can do that easily that are the Christian state. Why is it Western Christians, and whether you don't like that or not, that's what your ethos is. Why don't we demand a homeland in the Holy Land? I mean, I saw this morning. I was like, that makes perfect sense. It also shatters this paradigm where our culture is the ADL and AIPAC, or you're with Mondami. And I'm like, I'm so... The Muslims, you have countries that are Muslim and they're about to be Muslim. So they're 2 billion of them, they're taking over, and whoa. Then you're supposed to think, well, I'm with the Israelis because I'm against them. Meanwhile, Israel wants to import them here, at least some of their elements. But that will shut this shit down so fast.
So what? You have a Christian state, but then you still allow Islam and Judaism? Or you're going to have a Christian state and you're just going to have it run by the Pope or John Hagee?
Garrett sent $5. You should add I'm surrounded by friggin' idiots to the soundboard. Dr. Evil.
Okay, I like that suggestion. Let's find it.
This is big. I'm telling you. We need a 3-state solution. We need a Christian area in what is Israel. We need a Muslim area. Palestine.
They have those.
Jewish area. Obviously, the Jews and all that. And they went.
Dude, is he so dumb? He doesn't understand Jerusalem is divided up into 4 quadrants, right? The quarters. They have their different. I think it's 4. There's an Armenian quarter. There's the Christian quarter, which is Armenian also. There's the Muslim quarter.
But most of it's theirs.
And the Jewish.
And then they got so much money, all these international groups, Egypt will sell some land. Lebanon's Christian, been overwhelmed.
This is real Christian nationalism. Go move to the desert and hang out with your Jews and Muslim Abrahamic dick-cutting friends. Dick-cutting friends. That's good, right?
I mean, you can think about where is it like northern Israel becomes Christian or something? I'm not trying to, but then also protected areas that are like little hamlets that are. You have like 5 or 6 towns that are protected, and okay, these are Christians. This is yours. But oh no, we got to bring in the Muslims who then push you out, or the Jewish settlers burn you down.
Dude, Europe was all Christian, and Islam has taken over. What's going to stop Islam from taking over your Christian areas? Are you going to ethnically cleanse the Jews and the Muslims out for this pipe idea? Or is this just like a pipe dream nonsense that's just enough to give the Jews the excuse to say they're dividing the land of Israel? There's talk about Christians wanting to do another crusade and take the Holy Land. The Iraq War was Christian terrorism. Yeah, that was a crusade. The lie of that war.
Oh, yeah. Really friendly Jewish settlers. Again, it's not
Watch
all
the
Jews,
Collapse
that's the truth.
podcast. Send $5 on Rumble.
Thanks,
All
buddy.
Christians, Muslims, and Jews make Aliyah. Whites keep America. I like this, Jones.
Yeah, all the Zionists should go move to the Middle East. That's a great idea. They can fight with the Jews over there over who's the true Satanist and who the real Mashiach is.
I mean, they're like burning down their houses, burning down the oldest churches in the world. I mean, knock it off. Dumbasses. You're some Jewish settlement out there, and then there's one of the oldest churches in the world. Turn it into a tourist event, you dumb fuckheads, man. I mean, it's just like, stop.
Come on, Jews. Turn the churches into tourist traps for the gullible goy to make their pilgrimages. Come on, Jews. Make some money. Charge an entrance fee or something. Come on. That is Israel's tourism.
Seriously.
That is their income.
Problem. But there's got to be this fight that just goes on and on. So I want prosperity. I want the fight to end.
I love how he's calling for a 3-state solution, but then he says that the fight keeps going on and on and on. If you guys would just all bow down to my version of Moshiach, everything would be fine, but we just all got to keep fighting over this fake Jewish fairy tale. Let's float the Jeebus boat. Pilgrimages were just their old school tourism. Exactly. That's why I said it. They know that game. Netanyahu's like, come see a Jesus boat. It's like, oh, did he actually go in that? Yeah, he might have. We don't know.
Burning down their houses, burning down the oldest churches in the world. I mean, knock it off. Dumbasses. You're some Jewish settlement out there, and then there's one of the oldest churches in the world. Turn it into a tourist event, you dumb fuckheads, man. I mean, it's just like, stop it. Seriously, what is your problem? But there's got to be this fight that just goes on and on.
God commands it.
So I want prosperity. I want the fight to end. And to shut this Jewish Muslim thing down. Christians, oh God, imagine if Christians ever demanded their rights. Imagine if we ever stood up for ourselves.
You have a right to the Middle East? I thought I heard all the time about how Christians would say, oh, that's not our holy land anymore. That doesn't matter. Like, the temple's in our hearts. There's a heavenly Jerusalem now. God's not a real estate agent. It's not the Holy Land anymore. They cope and try to say, and now they're like, actually, we should all just like move there and set up our Jesus empire there.
You wouldn't even admit 80% of world persecutions against Christians. It's like we're marked for it. We don't.
You are marked for it. It's like we're marks. It's like we're pushovers. It's like we've been weakened and exploited and dumbed down. I don't even know if that's true. It's like, is one tribe of blacks, killing Christians in Africa, is that like Christian persecution? Or is that just like tribalism? Yeah, it's like we got this slave morality. It's like we're marks. We're told to turn the other cheek. It says to love your enemies. It says you don't have to do anything but basically pray. It's like we're marks. Yeah, Alex is realizing, right?
Muslim thing down. Christians, oh God, imagine if Christians ever demanded their rights.
Oh God.
Imagine if we ever stood up for ourselves. You wouldn't even admit 80% of world persecution.
Our government's run by a bunch of Zionist Christians. If we ever stood up for ourselves, they're so good at playing victim. So good at it. The persecution complex.
Against Christians. It's like we're marked for it. We don't stand up for ourselves. The Boko Haram's killed, almost 1 million people in the last 10 years in Central and Western Africa. I mean, Nigeria. This is out of control.
Dude, they would kill you whether you were Christian or not.
So let AIPAC have its lobby.
No. How about How about
Forget about it.
how about no?
Where's the Christian lobby?
It's called Kufi. We got it. We got a Christian lobby. It's called a subsidiary of the Israel lobby, Jones. Come on, dude. Are you really doing this? Oh, I got an idea, guys. Hey, what if we had a Christian lobby? Hey, what if we had a church? Hey, guess what the Catholic lobby does, Jones? Bringing all the NGOs and immigrants into the Western countries and saying that we're racist and going with them to their probation, deportation hearings. Dude, Jones, we need a Christian. We need more Jesus. That'll save us from the Jews.
Well, you hear what Alex Carb's worried about. So let AIPAC have its lobby. Where's the Christian lobby? Well, you hear what Alex Carb's worried about, and you hear what the ADL's worried about. They're worried about Christians will ever become nationalist and then Carb thinks we're going to throw you off a building.
You thought Christian nationalism was American nationalism? Sorry, it's actually Holy Land nationalism. The Book of Marks. Good one. That's hilarious, Reclaim. Yeah, the Book of Mark, because you are the mark, and you took the bait, and you've been scammed, and you've been duped. You are the marks, the gullible goy, the marks. Yeah, 80% of Congress is Christians. Where's the Christian lobby? Go check out the conservative Republican Party congressional prayer group, the prayer caucus, the Israel caucus, Kufi. That's what you get with Christian lobbies. The NGOs of Catholics bringing everybody in and pushing diversity. That's your Christian lobby. No. We need like based, racist, anti-Semitic Christian lobby. Yeah, good luck with that.
No, we don't want to take anything you got, Carp. We're not trying to hurt you. Just, we're under attack. We're tired of it. We're being told we're the devil because we're Christian or white all day. We want to.
You call us the devil because we don't believe in magical Jews. Christians do that. Christians, anybody that doesn't want to bow down to the King of the Jews, the Moshiach, the Jewish Messiah, Jesus, you call satanic and demonic and antichrist. And now he sits here and goes, you call us satanic. Poor you, dude. This is crying out in pain as they strike you in total projection.
We're under attack. We're tired of it. We're being told we're the devil because we're Christian or white all day. We want to unify black, white, old, young, Hispanic under Christianity.
No, we don't. We don't want to unify all the Goyim under the Jew worship of Jesus. That's what we want to do. That's the plan. That's how we win, is everybody becomes a Noahide slave to the Jewish Messiah. That's how we win, which was the whole Jewish plan to begin with. Before Christianity, that was the Jewish plan. Subdue the Mashiach, subduing all the world, all the nations. They will be his expectation. They will put their hope in him. They will bow down in fear. They will lick the dust of the feet. They will be the footstool. He will rule in the land of thine enemies of the Jews. That is the whole Jewish plan. It's not Pastor Jones anymore. It's Rabbi Jones at this point. I was just going to play. Come on.
And how are you going to get a Messiah that fixes everything if everybody doesn't go under it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the Messiah comes, everybody's got to follow it.
Everybody has to. And so
No.
We got to stop fighting about this forever.
You know, the Christian factions fight. We're being told we're the devil because we're Christian or white all day. We want to unify black, white, old, young, Hispanic under Christianity. You know, the Christian factions fighting with each other.
Dude, Jones, every day, it's the satanic. They're all satanic. You're either married to Satan or you're married to Jesus. You're the bride of Jesus. It's not sexual, but it's sexual. Jones is entertaining at least. Yeah.
The point is, where's the Vatican on a Christian homeland? Where's Huckabee on?
It's called the seat of Edom in Rome. Have you heard of the Vatican? That's the Christian homeland. That's where they set up the church. Come on.
a Christian homeland. Whoa, how about Christians get someplace? Oh, well, you can't.
Christians had all of Europe and America and forfeited it to multiculturalism and diversity and love thy neighbor and welcome the refugee. That's what happened.
Have that, only the Muslims and the Jews can have it.
We got Judeo-Christian Zionist nationalism in America. Do you not see who's in charge of our government? Mike Huckabee? Have you, like, the clips we play every day of all of these top politicians. Hegseth talking about rebuilding the temple. Oh, we just need like more Christian influence in America. Imagine if we had that. We're such victims while pretending to be victims. All of this is so Jewish.
It's time for the Crusades 2.0. We're under attack. We're under pressure. We fight back. And I don't mean physically, economically, culturally. How about all the ads on Fox giving money to Israel when Israel has more money than we do on average? Great. Run your ads, raise money, blah, blah, blah. How about we got ads on Fox News raising money for Christian settlements in Israel? Oh.
That's how we win, guys. We need to be just like the Jews and start settling the Holy Land that we're not from, the Middle East. That's how we win. We make aliyah, and build kibbutzes with a bunch of our fellow Jew worshipers in Israel. That's how we win, guys. That's the plan.
So this is revolutionary, and it's hiding in plain view. And how I didn't think of this, I'm a dumbass. But I bet most of you never did. This is big.
Most of you never did, dude. This meme, guys, how funny is this? This meme has been online forever. They would say the meme is one state solution, and it's all Christianity. I've heard this from so many different people. It's a common meme from the E-Crusaders. And this dude's acting like, how did I never think of this? It's genius. It's revolutionary. Dude, Jones.
Revolutionary, and it's hiding in plain view. And how I didn't think of this, I'm a dumbass. But I bet most of you never did. This is big, 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 capital B, capital I, capital G.
This is delusional, not going to happen, just a pipe dream. It's like not even biblical. It's peak Christ cuck to want to go move to the Middle East when you're not from the Middle East. It's like you want to be Jewish, you want to go live where Jesus lived. It's disgraceful.
15 exclamation points lit up with a highlighter in bright yellow, like the sun. This is the attitude. Quit thinking about defense. Go on offense. But the Christians of the Middle East just sit there and take it up the butt.
Just like Jesus did.
Turn the other cheek. That was at that time. They're trying to set him up. It's at certain points.
No.
Jesus.
No.
Sell your cloak by sword. In the info war.
Then he says, put your sword away when they bring him out.
Here's Steve Bannon.
In the Middle East, Haratz, I'll put it up tomorrow. Netanyahu, I'm inside his head. He's very upset with my use of the word protectorate or client state or vassal state. He says that they're not, and they're a free partner, but people over there talking to Qatar, which is the Muslim Brotherhood, and Erdogan, who's going to be the security force in Gaza, and the United States team of Jared and Witkoff and Marco, Senator Secretary of State's over there, and the Vice President and others are dealing directly with the new it's a Palestinian state. I hope the evangelicals are writing this down. I hope the Israel First and Tel Aviv event. Take your number 2 person and write that down. That's a proto-Palestinian state. And Marco went over there today and just said, hey, there is no further.
Donnie says this might be fulfillment of Revelation 11:2. but exclude the outer court. Do not measure it, because it has been given to the Gentiles. They will trample on the holy city for 42 months. And the two witnesses for 1,260 days.
Development of the West Bank, and the West Bank's not going to be annexed by Israel, full stop. And we don't care what the Knesset says. Because the Knesset tried to embarrass JD the other day and voted, to do it. People are not listening, and they need to listen. The Israel First crowd and the evangelicals that back the Israel First crowd, you guys brought this on. Oh, Bannon's so hard, he's so tough, he's so mean. Well, I'm just giving you the facts the way they is.
He looks like a slave ship owner. 1880s slave ship owner. He kind of does. He has that hair.
This greater Israel project of Netanyahu blew up in his face by the president of these United States. And now you got what you got. And,
So there's a narrative. Trump stopped Netanyahu from conquering the Holy Land. Netanyahu thought he was going to annex the West Bank. Well, Trump stopped him. He's letting the Palestinians have it. Well, there's your divided the land of Israel shit.
They're saying, hey, Hamas has got to, but Hamas is a minor player here. Erdogan, the Egyptians, the UAE, the Saudis, the people going to provide the troops, Qatar are going to be writing big checks. And look, I got no love lost for Qatar. I think Qatar is the railhead of the Muslim Brotherhood. But hey, I'm just some schmendrick yelling into a microphone. But we got a problem over there. And part of the problem is there's many people that don't look. President Trump has a vision of how this is going to work. Jared Kushner did the Abraham Accords. It's kind of more of a business deal and diplomatic deal. His work to date, that's kind of the template.
Not a religious deal, though. It has nothing to do with religion. It's all business.
The president's saying, hey, here's what we're going to do. So if you want to go do it on your own, then do it on your own. When I say do it on your own, no money, no arms, no nothing. If you're going to do it, Israel First crowd and the Greater Israel Project.
Yeah, because that happens. Yeah, because we never fund them. Because we don't fund them. You could say that, but Trump's going to fund them every time they say they need funding. Yeah, we're not going to fund it. Do whatever you want. We're not going to fund it. Have your lobbies. Have your Christian Israel commercials. Have your APEC. We're just not going to fund it. Like, yeah, but your boy Trump has always funded it. So what the fuck is that? That's just like a weird cop-out.
Nothing. If you're going to do it, Israel First crowd and the Greater Israel Project, which is, I believe, destroyed Israel. And this is why now you have to go to a 3-state solution. And one of those states has to be, wait for it, the Christian state of Jerusalem. We need a Christian state in the Holy Land. You just need it. Make sure 20, 25 years, 30 years from now, everything's kind of sorted. Because you got the Muslims are going to have their deal, and they got it. You got 2 million Palestinians. You got Qatar writing tens or hundreds of billions of dollars of checks for redevelopment. You got Turkey as security guarantee. Netanyahu said when JD was there, well, I got to think about Turkey. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. Yeah, call this guy named Trump at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Put a call into him. Get his thoughts on that. Erdogan is the head of the security.
Right, yeah, Bannon, the proud Christian Zionist, right? I'll look for that clip real quick.
With Egyptian troops and UAE troops and maybe Saudi troops. We've unwound in 2 months what has been in place 100 years ago when General Allenby and Lawrence of Arabia blew up through Jerusalem to Damascus and drove the Ottoman Empire out of the Middle East, out of that part of it. And drove them out of Syria, drove them out of Israel, Palestine, drove them out of Egypt, drove them out of, I shouldn't say Egypt, the British had that, drove them out of Jordan, Transjordan, Iraq, in the Saudi Peninsula, Sinai in the Saudi Peninsula.
Here's Bannon. Oh, it's 11 minutes.
Steve Bannon. But if I can say one thing about ZOA and about the work
Zionist Organization of America.
Everybody does in Washington.
Working for like Mercer, Netanyahu started Breitbart News.
Is your
in 2016. In 2016, MAGA. Remember, he was photographed also with Shmuley Boteach, where he had the moving of the embassy on the wall behind him. I'm not sure exactly where it's at, but it's on there. Yeah, Christian. Trump totally stopped Netanyahu, and we're totally going to have a Christian state. Yeah, me and Alex Jones are really starting up this new thing. If you can't tell how much this shit stinks, Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, embassy, Iran deal, rip up the Iran deal, the main thing the Zionists wanted. Yeah, let's this our Christian hero, right? Alex Jones and Steve Bannon, the Zio fucking gatekeepers, and Christian Yeshua Shills, Rabbi Yeshua Shills. Yeah, they're gonna stop Israel.
Apologetic about the defense of the state of Israel. And there are so many games being played by the establishment, right? They've lowered the bar of what that's supposed to be. You get double dealt all the time. That's how you get the Iran deal. And that's how we still allow the American government to finance people that have blood on their hands of innocent Jewish civilians. It is time for us to act. And I believe the only way to act is not through moderation. I am not a moderate. I'm a fighter.
Yeah, I love when these types act like they're against the establishment.
To stand with
Sarah.
the state of Israel. That's why I'm proud to be a Christian Zionist. That's why I'm proud to be a partner to one of the greatest nations on earth and the foundation of the Judeo-Christian West.
Boom! There you go. Yeah, Alex Jones and Bannon, they're really on to something here with this dividing of the Holy Land. What do you know? The prophetic dividing of the Holy Land. Esau and Edom coming to take the Holy Land.
They have been in for, I don't know, 500 or 600 years. The Ottomans played the long game.
So visionary, absolutely hidden in plain view. Christians must go on the offense politically with our money and our culture, and we should be culturally invading the Middle East instead of the Muslims invading us. Let's go on offense.
Invade the Middle East?
Let's do it. Absolutely. Why don't we think big? Why don't I think big? Incredible, Steve Bannon. Absolutely amazing.
Absolutely retarded and kosher and nonsense. What is this? Oh, it's At Real Alex Jones commercial. Okay, let's go. Let's back up to where we were. Where do we go? Let's do this one. Christianity from See Through It All. Christianity is Jew-obsessed ancient Israeli propaganda.
This is Deuteronomy 7:6 and Genesis. The Bible says Jesus came among his own received him not. They rejected him. So then the question might be, well, if the majority of Jews past and even currently do not accept Jesus as Messiah, as Mashiach, then how is it possible that they would be considered God's chosen people? Here's the answer to that for you taking notes. Number 2, the Jewish people are God's chosen people because through them God revealed the Messiah, Jesus, and his redemptive plan for the world. This is Deuteronomy 7:6 and Genesis 12:3. Let me quote for you. Deuteronomy 7:6, God said to Moses, "For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all the peoples on the face of the earth." And in addition, God said this to Abraham in Genesis 12:3, "I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. And all nations on earth will be blessed through you." New King James says, "All the families of the earth shall be blessed." Friends, this has not been rescinded. What God said to Moses about the Jewish people, what God said to Abraham about the Jewish people, has not been rescinded. God birthed a people group, an ethnic people group, the Jews, through the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They had not previously existed. This was an ethnic group that God birthed by his divine sovereign will through the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob for the purpose of introducing to the world a Savior whose name is Jesus. And for that reason, they are a chosen people in the sense that God brought about the Messiah through the Jewish people for the sake of the whole world. And because
not just brought about the Messiah, but brought the scam of them being the chosen and nation of priests and prophets that predicted the Messiah. You don't have the Messiah without the messianic prophecies. You don't have the messianic prophecies without the chosen people. The insane babbling is infuriating. I know, dude. Every day I feel like
Why
this.
must I be surrounded by frickin' idiots?
There we go. Did that work, Garrett?
Because of that, we bless Israel and we honor the Jewish people. They are not a perfect nation any more than America is a perfect nation. There is no perfect nation until Jesus comes. But we honor and respect Israel because Israel was chosen for a sacred and specific purpose by God. The revelation of Messiah through the Jewish people for the sake of the whole world. And remember, when we show respect and honor to Israel and the Jewish people, we are showing respect and honor to our Lord. Because Jesus said in Matthew 24,
I'm convinced. Are you guys convinced? Are you convinced, Bear?
You damn right I love the Jews. Absolutely. 100%. Because I'm a Christian.
5:40, inasmuch as you have done it unto the least of these, my brethren. He's talking about his fellow Jews. You have done it unto me. God is not done with the Jewish people. God has a plan for that. And whether it is replacement theology in the church over the centuries and even today, or whether it is anti-Semitic protests happening on college campuses around our country, Satan is behind it all. Satan's behind it all. Revelation chapter 12 says that he's perched, ready for the woman to give birth that he might devour her child. It's a picture of, in some sense, it's a picture of Mary giving birth to Jesus. In a larger sense, it's a picture of God giving birth to the nation of Israel. Either way, Satan is opposed to it.
Does God have a vagina? Birth. He keeps saying they're birthed from God. It sounds like God has a vag to be birthing things. What do you mean, bro?
He's trying to incite anyone that he can to silence or worse, exterminate the Jewish people. It's all really the intent of Satan. Anti-Semitic.
And if you graft into Jesus's vag, if you graft yourself in to Jesus, you too can be of the seed of Abraham and a chosen nation.
Semitism, the root of it is Satanism. He's
Satanism.
behind it.
See, this is the narrative. This is what Christians say. You're against Jesus. You're against Moshiach. You're against the idea of the chosen people having a Messiah. Well, then you're satanic, you're evil, you're demonic, you're Amalek. Jews say the same thing. You're anti-Semitic, you're anti-Moshiach, don't want to be a no-hide slave. This guy's big, by the way, says see through it all. I believe it. And I've never even seen him before. There's just an endless flow of these huge Christian influencers that push this stuff. And then Christians on e-Crusaders online think they can just wave a magic wand and say, not real Christians. And it's not a problem anymore.
The Bible says Jesus came among his own received him not. They rejected him. So then the question might be, well, if
the Jews couldn't make Jesus come, he came for them and they rejected him.
The majority of Jews, past and even currently, do not accept Jesus as Messiah, as Mashiach, then how is it possible that they would be considered God's chosen people? Here's the answer to that for you taking notes. Number 2, the
gift and call are irrevocable. Is that what he's going to say?
People are God's chosen people because through them, God revealed the Messiah, Jesus, and his redemptive plan for the world.
There's a clip See Through It All has of Nick Fuentes saying that exact line. That's also what rabbis say. The Moshiach's going to bring the light of the Torah and God's will to the whole world. So they're all agreeing on that fact, but then like, no such thing as Judeo-Christian. Right? See through it all's in the chat, right? It's replaying, you say. Oh, is it messed up on Odyssey? Shoot. We've been in the green the whole time. Yeah, we're green.
This is Deuteronomy 7:6 and Genesis 12:3. Let me quote for you. Deuteronomy 7:6, God said to Moses, "For you are a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all the peoples on the face of the earth." And in addition, God said this to Abraham in Genesis 12:3. "I will bless those who bless you."
Oh, we already heard this part. My apologies. Okay, let's checking in on Young Hoon Kim, IQ 276, the highest IQ man on earth, according to him, and huge Jesus advocate. He says, anti-Semitism is sin. Jesus was a Jew, and he teaches us to love, not hate. We must protect the Jewish people and pray for peace. Only the love of Christ can heal Europe again. We got an Asian dude telling us that we need the king of the Jews to heal Europe. Come on. Hey, where are all the E-Crusaders that were shilling this guy like, take the L, atheist, high IQ guy believes in Jesus. Like, this is like I said, I did a whole show about this guy. I think it was with Gnostic Informant. And another show, several shows I've covered him. All he does is shill Jesus now. Blew up to 300,000 plus followers. Just run-of-the-mill, low IQ Christian that really, he's a litmus test. If you believe this guy, if you're a Christian and impressed and sharing and being like, even the highest IQ guy believes in Jesus, you are a moron. You failed the IQ test if you think that this is something to be proud of, this guy. And hey, where are all the based E-Crusaders now? Highest IQ man in world says Jesus was Jew. But all of these E-Crusaders are like, that neo-pagan Jew Adam Green says Jesus was a Jew. No, he's not. He's a Judaite. He's an Aramaean. Like, he was actually a white Aryan with blonde hair and blue eyes. All these called Christian influencers love the money they get from the Christ cucks. Very true. It's like a turnkey, no down payment franchise. Christianity is a franchise to be your own cult leader, have your own flock, like a shepherd like Jesus had. It's like a pyramid scheme franchise where all you got to do is start a TikTok, start dancing around holding the Bible, and all of a sudden you have your own little flock. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're selling Christ is King shirts. You're selling Christ is King hats like this guy.
My brother saw me wearing this hat. He said, cool hat. What's it supposed to mean? I told him it's a reminder of the day Jesus took the nails so I wouldn't have to. Now he got quiet. He got real quiet.
He took those nails from me. I'm a piece of shit and deserved crucifixion, but he did it for me, so I'm forgiven for all the bad shit I've done. That's who this appeals to.
That's the first time in years that he's asked me anything about my faith. And naturally, I had an extra one, like I always do, and I gave him one. See, this hat doesn't just start conversations. It plants seeds. And if you're ready to wear what you believe, the link's right here. And when you click that orange shopping cart right there, you're going to find the color you're looking for. They got all sorts of colors to choose from. This is a Richardson 112.
Dude, it's all just a big grift.
Brother BD sent $5 on Rumble. Have you looked into Trump's White House ballroom supposedly designed after Solomon's temple?
Yeah, I'll pull that up and give my thoughts on it. I haven't watched it yet, but it's like I saw a comment and I kind of agreed. It was like, it's kind of just a rectangle. It's like the same shape rectangle, and that's about it. But maybe there's more to it. I need to look into it. Dude, the Jesus merch is so hot right now on TikTok store. All these big influencers are all shilling some Jesus merch.
They're selling out like hotcakes.
Selling like hotcakes. Praise the Lord. You know, there really is nothing they hate more. I saw this at Target over the weekend. Jesus, just for no reason whatsoever. Time magazine, owned by a Jew, by the way. Jesus on the front cover, who he was, who he is, his miracles, his mission, his life. Because there's nothing they fear more, than the name of Jesus, than Yeshua.
God love.
Jewish guy runs into, this is Costco. Fail at Costco.
Like you.
We got a Jewish guy running into a Christian who I'm sure just like said, "Hey, are you Jewish? Can I shake your hand? You're a chosen person." Some Christian probably comes up to this rabbi. He's like, "Let me film you for my Instagram, goy." And this is what we get. This is what Christianity does. They're out in the wild too. Here's your average. I go talk to them out in the wild. This is your average Christian.
אתם לא מאמינים, אני נמצא בווגאס. איש קתולי נוצרי ראה אותי עם כיפה וציציות בחוץ. חיבק אותי, בעוצמה לא הבנתי למה. הוא אמר לי...
Rochelle, thank you.
$5 if you purchase over $100 in Jesus merch, you get $200 in sins forgiven until Christmas.
That's a good one. Good marketing pitch.
שהלב שלי עם היהודים, אנחנו אוהבים את היהודים, אנחנו אוהבים אתכם. הוא רוצה להגיד אפילו משהו באנגלית פה.
Hello, I love Israel.
Watch the collapse. Ballroom is going to disrupt the sacred geometry, pentagrams, and stuff. Key lines through DC. Hold on. What else? Who knows? The design of the city is influenced by a cult for sure. I'll have to look into it more. I'll find it. Ready? Oh, you knew this was going to be bad.
Hello, I love Israel. The United States stands with Israel. We love you. Thank God President Trump is our president because he loves Israel. And I love the Jewish
Zorn
people.
Dariden sent $5. Adam, with respect, why have you not discussed the Israeli Google searches of Kirk murder detail weeks before the event?
I forgot.
Highlighted by Jimmy Dore.
Jimmy Dore. I like it like that, so I'm going to say it from now on. I'm sorry, I forgot. I've got a lot of stuff going on, bro. Video slipped through the cracks. I'm not too big of a fan of Jimmy Dore, so I don't even remember where it's at. I'm sure I bookmarked it or queued it to watch later or something. Nobody else is talking about it, so I'm guessing it's probably not legit or not a big deal, honestly. Otherwise, I assume I would be seeing it because the algorithm was pumping all the Charlie Kirk conspiracy stuff more than ever. In fact, it's a huge, big trend on TikTok. TikTok's taken over by the Jews, but how come I'm seeing all these huge viral videos of Candace Owens promoting Candace Owens' Charlie Kirk conspiracies? Huh? What does that tell you? Taste of Truth says other people are talking about him. Like who? Ian Carroll? Is Candace saying it?
And I love the Jewish people.
Thank you. We love you.
God bless you.
You're good man. And I
pray for Israel every night.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That's being Christ cucked. You pray for Israel every night.
I want to say to you.
Okay, I'll look at it. Jeez, guys.
God love people like you. And I love you. And I want to say from my heart, thank you very, very much.
If we don't take care of Israel, then God doesn't take care of us.
So true. Absolutely. Amen. Absolutely.
Rules are sent $10 on Rumble. Sorry late. Did we do costume already?
No, I don't even have that queued up. I don't have too much to say about it, really.
And I want to...
well, Nick, there's a viral clip of Nick. Everybody was attacking him. He said it was cringe to do that. I mean, it's a Halloween costume. I think it's cringe, and I do agree. It's not good aura to be, pushed out of a bar by a girl, like going hysterical at you. That's not good. That's not good optics. Even if the suit looked clean, it's not good optics to get kicked out and arrested and embarrassed by a girl, basically. So I do agree with that.
Say from my heart, thank you very, very much.
If we don't take care of Israel,
look at his face.
Then God doesn't take care of us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man.
Absolutely. That's a good guy. That's a good guy.
Tells us in the Old Testament. You know that.
Thank you, man.
God bless you. God bless you.
You know that. Oh, I want to vomit.
Bye, Israel. I love you.
Oh.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Jesus, dude. Look at that face. Nothing they hate more. That's the nothing they fear more face. He looks like you're Palestinian.
New Yorker in exile sent $5. Is that guy being held hostage in Costco?
No. Dude, I'm sure this guy's rabbi is, or Jew is wearing a yarmulke, so I'm sure the Christian just came up to him and started glazing and groveling. And he's like, hold on, let me film this for all my Jewish buddies back at the kibbutz. At the boys at yeshiva are gonna laugh at this a whole lot. That's good. The Jesus merch is so... Here's another one. This guy just does video after video of these fake stories where he's converting, he's spreading the truth with these hats.
Well, I'm standing in line at the grocery store, just minding my own business when this man taps me on the shoulder. He points to my hat, you know, the one with the 3 nails in the shape of a cross on. He says, man, that's powerful. Where'd you get that hat?
Powerful, man. Hey, man, that cross, powerful. Where'd you get that? Hey, man, where do you think I could find? I don't know, maybe Google, like, cross hat. Maybe that'll do it. Hey, man, where can I get that cool nail cross hat?
That's powerful. Where'd you get that hat? So I told him the story behind it, how it's called the nailed it hat.
Vrulzer sent $5 on Rumble. What do you think is your best impression?
I don't think I'm very good at any impression. I'd say maybe Alex Jones, Jay Dyer, Trump, Jonathan Greenblatt. I kind of have funny. I don't even know what are all the impressions that I do. I don't think about it much. It kind of just comes out of me. I get in flow state and just start mocking people and impersonating everybody.
It's a reminder that Jesus has already paid it off.
I don't know. Jesus already paid it off, bro. Whatever you're done, all charges are dropped. Jew impression, Stone Christ Cuck impression, Tucker Carlson laugh. Those are some good ones.
Nailed it hat, and how it's a reminder that Jesus has already paid it all. And no matter what's going wrong in your life, the nails in this cross means that it's already been handled.
Onyx sent $5.
It's all good, bro.
Seeing Jesus merch in the gym. A cross made of barbells.
Based.
Bro, you are in Zeus's Temple of Iron GTFO.
Yeah, the Christians banned the gymnasians. Get the fuck out of here. And Christianity leads to little ass monks that are skinny and frail and fat and stuff and never exercise at all.
Right there in the middle of that store, he got tears in his eyes and he said,
totally real story. Totally a true story.
Bifurcatia sent $10. I've been practicing Adam's Tucker laugh.
That's hilarious.
Am I weird?
I mean, every time you hear it, you hear it, you just want to just make fun of it and mock it.
Needed to hear that today. And guess what? I gave him the hat off of my head. Just
Ew.
like this one right here.
Oh, no thanks. No thanks. I would never take a hat off a dude's head, some bald dude's head. All your skin cells and grease from your greasy forehead. Ugh.
Sometimes it's not just a hat. It's a conversation starter, a reminder, a way to spread the love of Jesus without saying a word. So grab yours today. You never know whose life you might impact.
Dude, Christ is cha-ching. Nothing the Jews fear more. That's why they took over TikTok and trending viral, promoted by blondies on the TikTok store. Get your Christ is King merch. Because there's nothing the Jews that took over TikTok fear more.
medium. This pullover does come in different colors. I really like the black. If you're interested, I'll go ahead and put it in the orange.
Oh, I'm interested.
Christ is King on the front. It does have a cross on the sleeve. This is Gildan brand, a Gildan brand sweatshirt. I am 5 foot.
So like the worst material.
145 pounds.
Ooh,
and this
5'8", 145. Tell me more.
It does come in different colors. I really like the black. If you're interested, I'll go ahead and put it in the orange part envelope. Christ is King on the.
Could you imagine all the young little incel e-crusaders looking at this girl like, oh, I'm going to buy 5.
It does have a cross on the sleeve. This is Gildan brand, a Gildan brand sweatshirt. I am 5'8", 145 pounds.
Some people are saying they think she's Jewish.
This pullover does come in different.
I don't know if I see it.
Like the black. If you're interested.
I don't know if I see it. I think maybe you guys. Is this a Jewish girl? Is this a advanced mimicker shilling a Christ is King shirt? I don't know. I think this is the right screenshot to stop on. The right place to pause. She does have blue eyes.
I'll go ahead
and... Yep. That's funny. Is that not funny? I hope that made you guys laugh. I hope that was good.
Brilzer sent $5 on Rumble. Did Big Tech really go Christian? If so, who cares? Never liked him.
Oh, no. Big Tech is my bro. That's... Sorry, Brilzer. Disavow. Big Tech is my bro. And I'll support him even if he does become a Christ cuck.
The names sent $5 on Rumble. Have you looked into Michael Tracy's coverage of the Epstein stuff? NGL, he's made some logical arguments that kinda crumble the blackmail claims.
I've seen him doing it.
Found major flaws in Whitney Webb's book.
I saw him talking trash about Whitney. You have to pay to read his blog, though.
$5. My favorite impression is Emo Jesus. I've been waiting for that one to come back.
Emo Jesus. I don't remember that one.
Thunderbolt Vehicle sent $5 on Rumble. Rogan impression always makes me chuckle.
Oh,
Tucker
the
cackle
Rogan?
and cracked voice is great, too. Can't wait for the Rabbi Dyer segment.
Yeah, we're covering some Dyer here. Everybody's waiting for Rabbi Dyer. Don't worry, guys. Christianity is taking over social media, and they're not lying. 340,000 likes on this one. I thought I already hated Christians. I should say. I thought I already hated Christianity. And then I started checking out Christian TikTok some more. And scrolling Instagram. And I was wrong. I could hate Christianity more. I thought it was impossible. 340,000 likes. Christianity's taken over social media because there's nothing they fear more. They control the algorithms. And Christianity's taking over. And all the Zionists are promoting Jesus. All the mainstream alternative media influencers are all shilling Jesus.
Christians, go Christians, go Christians. What they said,
We're gonna make a video.
Christians, come on, Jake. Christians, go Christians, go Christians, go Christians. What they said, Christians. Come on, Jake. Christians, go Christians, go Christians, go Christians. What they said, Christians.
All right, ready?
Christians, go Christians, come on, Jake. Christians, go Christians, go Christians, go Christians. What they said,
Oh. Okay. That's my idea to make a video. I'm sure it won't be popular at all, but it was just one of my ideas. I'm going to show all the books and try to hijack their meme. I'll probably have to do it from my phone, but that's the idea. I'm going to totally hijack the meme and then show a couple book titles that nobody's going to pause or ever read. Rapid fire. So, Brown Cord, when will we see the Big Tech versus Adam Green debate on Christianity? I've debated it. That's happened before. Twice, actually. First time we met, we were debating. I won, of course. That's why I converted him. Oh, we got some more. Note the chirp, the holy chirp, at 4 seconds and 47 seconds.
Bless. When you talking Jesus, they gonna try to change the subject. I pray to God in secret, now he blessing me in public. The weapons formed against me didn't prosper, didn't touch me. You should have went to law school, only God can judge me. I was going through it last year.
Yeah, should have gone to law school.
Now I'm waiting on my harvest. I just got off a fast, ain't gonna lie, my flesh was starving. I prayed for a flower, God gave me a garden. Wake up, go to church, what's last, now I'm first. Psalms 23, baby, that's my favorite verse. Wake up, go to church, what's last, now I'm first. Psalms 23, baby, that's my favorite verse. Hold on, woke up feeling blessed, 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 blessed. Now I'm feeling blessed, 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 blessed. Only God can judge me when I was lost and I felt like I couldn't make it. God told me to be still because he gonna work it out, be patient. My faith was getting weak. I was tripping like patience.
You hear the chirp?
I thank God for revelation. You
Dude.
can touch me, Satan.
I guess having Jesus in your heart doesn't fix the chirp problem.
Baby, I'm so blessed. I can't do nothing but thank him. You can.
Yeah, the chirp sounds. I thought it sounds like a metronome. She uses. I thought the same thing, dude, because it was kind of on beat. That's so funny.
I'm destined for greatness.
Yeah, she just uses that all day. She's like, I just hear like a rhythm in my head. It's like every 45 seconds I hear some chirp. It just makes me beep. Chirp.
Baby, I'm so blessed. I can't do nothing but thank him. Woke up feeling blessed, 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 blessed. Now I'm feeling blessed, 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 blessed.
We won't finish the chorus. Plays in my head every time I see these Christian TikTokers.
Goyim sometimes can be. I always wonder how dumb this Goyim sometimes can be. I always
you guys ever You guys ever have the same problem? These dumb Goyim cattle slaves could be so dumb.
Goyim sometimes can be. I always wonder how dumb this Goyim sometimes can be. I always wonder how dumb this Goyim sometimes can be.
You know, I always wonder. Speaking of Mizrachi, we got this young Jew, young version of Rabbi Mizrachi. Look at his TikTok. How can he not be proud Jew when I see billions of Goyim bow down to one Jew? Dude. Dunking on the mic drop Goyim. Nothing they hate more. He's not a Jew, but he's not a Jew. Good luck. Good luck with that, Copers. Nothing they love more. Here, look, this is a mix from Woke Christianity, new account. It says the New Testament was created to enslave the Gentile world. Rabbinic and Christian sources that corroborate this thesis. New account. New creator account. I like it. Let's see this. A new compilation.
Standing on the Bible.
Let's check this out. Oh, this looks like it's from that one old movie. What is it called? The New Atlantis? Or let's see.
We'll tell you this. The United States of America was founded to be a Noahide nation by people who are secretly adept in our Kabbalistic traditions.
Oh, no. No.
Excuse me. Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and the like. And as such, it was prophesied that this country would survive and will survive even to the times of Mashiach. But like biblical Israel, the uncleanliness and the evil in here needs to be cleansed, and it will be. That is coming. We know it. We see it. Whether it's going to materialize as a nuclear World War III or a civil war or the next pandemic, probably all of those things are coming.
There's been so much talk recently about wealthy Jewish donors. It reminded me that I wanted to speak about one of the original Jewish donors of this country. This guy, Chaim Solomon, Now, Chaim Salomon was a great patriot. He was one of the Sons of Liberty, and he is one of the main independent financiers of the entire Revolutionary War. When we look on the dollar bill and it says, "In God we trust," this is talking about the God of the Torah. There is a spiritual connection between
That was added in the 50s, wasn't it? Didn't Roosevelt do that?
the United States and the Jewish people. There is a legend that when the Great Seal of the United States was being formed, Washington went to Chaim Salomon and he asked him, he said, "What can we do to repay you for everything that you've done?" And he said, "I want nothing for me. I just want a symbol of my people." If you look closely on the Great Seal, right above the eagle, you can see that there are 13 stars and they are in the shape of the Star of David.
Hiding in plain sight all along, right there. No such thing as Judeo-Christian, though, huh? Yeah, not Roosevelt. Who was it? I'll look it up.
To all our brethren to receive the most worshipful, the Grand Master.
Eisenhower. Who did I say? Roosevelt? Eisenhower. Yeah, Roosevelt was during the war. What is this? Freemason conference?
Are sent $5 on Rumble. PPL sleep on the Jew-loving Masons.
Have you guys seen this before? I've never seen this. This is a real Freemason-like event. One of the levels, I think it's the 21st degree, is called a Noahide.
I hold that to be self-evident, Brother Franklin. All men are created equal.
Well, I just want to see if this is what the whole thing is. What movie is this from?
Planned out. He worked like a Kabbalist. He was a master of the Kabbalah.
Who is this?
The Christian Kabbalah.
Bacon?
The Kabbalah goes back through the Hebrews, through Moses to ancient Egypt, and before that it's said to Enoch, who was the great initiate and king of Atlantis. And it said all the teachings come from Enoch, including this Kabbalah. And Bacon was a great master of Kabbalah.
Yeah,
His whole work is based on Kabbalistic principles.
So Francis Bacon. This is like one of the first conspiracy documentaries I think I ever saw. Francis Bacon's The New Atlantis.
Kabbalah could go on indefinitely. It might be generally called the Jewish version of the ancient mystery religion. In the 17th century, as settlers were colonizing the New World, Sir Francis Bacon, the leader of secret societies in England, set down his classic work, The New Atlantis. While archaeologists and treasure hunters have searched the globe looking for the lost continent, 400 years ago, Bacon, like many of his contemporaries, believed that Atlantis was America itself.
Well, Bacon, to me, was really fundamental.
Yeah, and I watched, one of the first other documentaries I watched was this guy's Money Masters, about the Federal Reserve, right? It's called Money Masters.
In the American colonizational scheme and its connection to the...
Let's get weird, says Vrilzer.
He was trying to lay a foundation for what could be accomplished in the New World.
His founding of America was really through other people who were following his work, following the program he'd laid out.
Bacon was the head of Freemasonry and Rosicrucianism.
He had a huge influence through being the chief of the Rosicrucian fraternity at the time. He had a huge influence on the birth of modern Freemasonry. And many of those Rosicrucians actually went in.
Francis Bacon? I'm guessing not a Jew? Is there a Jew named Bacon? Didn't we once see a Jew named Bacon? Or is that just like a joke? I know a Jew named Bacon has come up before. Menachem Bacon? Menachem Begin is Menachem Bacon?
Freemasonry at that time to lift it up to its new level.
Not a Jew.
And Freemasonry has a major...
Bacon's not kosher, it couldn't be.
...of America.
While many of the early settlers came to work the land for the cause of religious freedom, there were with them secret societies who came to the New World with another agenda.
One is filled with admiration on penetrating into the sanctuary of the Kabbalah, at seeing a doctrine so logical, so simple, and at the same time so absolute. The necessary union of ideas and signs, the consecration of the most fundamental realities by the primitive characters, the trinity of words, letters, and numbers, is a philosophy as simple as the alphabet, profound and infinite as the word. Theorems more complete and luminous than those of Pythagoras, a theology summed up by counting on one's fingers, an infinite which can be held in the hollow of an infant's hand, 10 ciphers and 22 letters, a triangle, a square, and a circle. These are all the elements of the Kabbalah. These are the elementary principles of the written word, a reflection of that spoken word that created the world.
Okay. Nothing but lies, says Promethean Chaos. Okay. Representative Luna on Patrick Bet David again now. The demons are here. I see demons. She says that UFOs are actually interdimensional beings, just like talked about in the book of Enoch. Fallen angels. The demons are amongst us.
If it's also saw some interesting stuff. And so what I'll tell you is that footage, the fact that it was dead drop to Burleson, I'm certain that there's more of where that comes from. And we are going to push for the declassification of stuff that we've seen, because I think the American people deserve to see it. But I think, you're never going to have the U.S. government.
Are sent $5 on Rumble. Did you play Comedy Lady on Jake Shields?
I have it, but I don't know if we'll get to it today. That could wait for next show. Because I got to do the Dyer thing. I'm getting to the Dyer thing right after this. Because there's quite a bit. I could go while I have long clips of Dyer, him with Jones, talking about all types of stuff.
Admit or try to explain something. If it's...
Abrahamic Matrix Destroyer says, Bacon would be the perfect surname to adopt in order to blend in with the gullible Goyim. Yes, it would. Good one.
Also somewhat not specifically pertaining to national defense. So if it's not tech that we've made not involving a foreign government, I think that you're going to see a direct statement from that. What's
this girl can barely talk.
Into this with Joe Rogan is when we were talking to some of the witnesses, they don't call them extraterrestrial. They call them interdimensional. There's also this aspect of these things defying physics as we know it. And then you look at...
We talk to crazy people we call witnesses, and they say that they're not aliens. They're interdimensional beings. So the Bible's totally true. We all got to believe in Jesus a whole lot harder, guys.
To texts that were removed from the Bible, like the Book of Enoch, that actually specifically address technologies, if you will, that were given to mankind or of entities not of human origin, non-human intelligence. So these are all things to consider when addressing the topic. But based on what I've seen, not speculating, based on the evidence that I've seen, there's something out there. And based on what I'm saying is it's not... I think that it's along the lines of that video that you...
Dude, they put in this OnlyFans swimsuit model to Congress so she could give us all the leaks about JFK and the aliens, guys. Could you imagine falling for this? And she's a big Christian,
Have they
of course.
shown you? Okay, so...
I have to be careful because I could get in trouble if I divulge what I've been shown in a skiff. So what I can tell you is I'm just telling you as me, not specifically addressing skiff stuff, that they're real. And I'm not the only one. You just saw the Secretary of State in a documentary addressing.
Here she is.
It's a mind loop, right? But like Pinellas County, where I specifically represent, there's actually a high number of these reported sightings. But it's not just there. A lot of the members on the task force or that gavel into this, first of all, it's bipartisan and bicameral. Like we've had pretty much everyone's like circulated at one point, right, through task questions and whatnot. But members in Alaska, the member of Alaska specifically has a lot of reports of this. People that, represent these areas. When you get calls to the office, I've seen a lot of kooky stuff too that I know it's like crazy, like provably false. That's AI, CGI, whatever. But then you have the stuff that you can't explain. And then you have the attacks on the witnesses that come forward to testify, which if it wasn't real, why would you try to be discrediting someone? Why is the Department of the VA leaking people's records to the press if it's not real?
No, guys, I said OnlyFans model like sarcastically. I should have just said like e-girl swimsuit model. No, I don't think she actually had an OnlyFans.
Which if
maybe if she loses, maybe if she has her seat taken, she's unseated, maybe that'll be the backup.
Girls are sent $5 on Rumble. I'd hook up but not call her the next day.
You would call her back so fast. You'd be making breakfast.
It wasn't real. Why would you try to be discrediting someone? Why is the Department of the VA leaking people's records to the press if it's not real?
You'd be serving her breakfast in bed, dude. You're not fooling anybody.
Told not to look under that rock. You might look under the rock. And so that actually happened to David Grush when he came forward to testify, is his medical records were leaked to the press.
She went to Ethiopia to look for the Rep Luna? No, she didn't. She says that the CIA found the Ark of the Covenant on Joe Rogan. So she's just like leaking out bullshit Christian conspiracy. She's throwing out little not dog whistles. She's throwing some bones to lead on the Christian goy slop out there. The kosher conspiracies. Oh, the Ark of the Covenant. Oh, the fallen angels from the book of Enoch. All this stupid
Saw some
shit.
interesting stuff.
Just like Tucker's doing. Okay, let's hear Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell's going trending again. I don't think Young Hoon Kim is the highest IQ Christian. I think it's actually Bryce Mitchell.
Done. He's a. Hey, I want to let y'all know I'm not with Donald Trump no more. I don't support him. I don't like him. I think he's a corrupted leader. And
corrupted leader. How about you didn't listen to No More News? He was telling you in 2015, 2016.
Yeah, it took me a while to come to that conclusion, but I finally am coming to it. I do not like the guy at all. The first thing for me was he didn't release the Epstein files. They're even acting like they didn't exist. And then, of course, they're sending Israel and Ukraine all of our tax dollars, just like the numbnuts before him did. Putting America last. And now he's blaming the beef farmers for the price of beef.
Well, hey, guess what, man? Didn't you endorse him? Didn't you endorse Trump? Weren't you a big Trump supporter?
David,
so I guess this is your fault.
Is eye contact like downloading a person?
What? Eye contact downloading a person? I don't know what you mean, bro. Well, maybe since you were wrong about Trump, you're wrong about Jesus, buddy. You ever thought of that?
Hey, I'm not biased, man. He talked a good game. He tricked me. I was fooled.
Yep. Oh, just wait till you hear about Jesus. Oh God. Should somebody tell him?
Price of beef. Hey, I'm not biased, man. He talked a good game. He tricked me. I was fooled. I admit it. Okay, now let me tell you how bad I think this is, though.
Who is this jabroni? He's a UFC fighter. He's a well-known UFC fighter. I'm gonna be nice. I don't want to be too offensive to this guy because he'd probably beat me up. Not probably, he would beat me up. He's a UFC fighter. So I'm not gonna start any shit with this guy. He'll be like,
faith, dude. What do you have, you little bitch? You want to throw down, bro? Okay. Hey. You want to see what it feels like to talk shit about Christians, dude? I'll kick your heathen ass.
Don't want to get beat up by the UFC fighter for talking shit about Jesus. Although you were wrong about Trump and you're wrong about Jesus too.
Beef. Hey, I'm not biased, man. He talked a good game.
He's a flat earther too, yeah.
I was fooled. I admit it. Okay, now let me tell you how bad I think this is, though. This is really this bad, guys. I want y'all, if you're a Christian, I want you to get into Revelation 13:3, and I want you to read that verse. Yeah, about the Antichrist, about the one who was fatally wounded in the head. Then he was miraculously healed, and the whole world marveled at him. And
guess who predicted that 2 years before? On camera 2 years before. I was saying it probably back 2018, as early as I started covering the Trump Messiah Antichrist stuff. I was saying, well, the Antichrist is supposed to have a head wound.
Sent $5 on Rumble. I do ultimately credit you for saving me from the Judeo Matrix. So thanks.
You're very welcome. You did it yourself. I couldn't have done it without you.
Said no man can make war with him. Yeah, I do think that Donald Trump is that beast of Revelation 13:3. Yeah, go read it. Go read it. There ain't another man that's ever walked the planet that fits Revelation 13:3. Then read the rest of the chapter, and it'll tell you the mark of the beast is coming in 42 months. Now, I'm not saying that I know that Donald Trump is this man of Revelation 13:3. I'm just saying he's the only one who could be right now. Go read Revelation 13. He's the only man that fits that description. Yeah, and I'm totally done with the dude. He's done to me. He's done. He's a goner. He's compromised. He's right up there with the rest of the pedophiles, man. And it sucks to say that because I supported him for a long time, but he's a good actor, and he had me fooled for a long, long time. God bless y'all, and thank you.
Just wait till you learn about Jesus, man. Hey, remember my my meme? This is for you, Bryce Mitchell. I'm sure you're going to see this. I'm sure your guys are going to get it back to you. Let's see. Maybe if you followed No More News, you would know that the Jewish superheroes are not going to save us. Donald Trump, Israel Maccaking, Jesus, Superman, Batman. Sorry, bro, but don't trust the plan. A savior's not going to save you. See through it all. You said that's the perfect E-Crusader soundbite. Which one? What did he say? Which one? 3.8 thousand likes for that. What was the line? Here's some more.
You did 9/11. You blamed it on the Muslims. No Muslims did 9/11. 9/11 was done by Israel, the same people that raped those kids on Epstein's Island. All of y'all can go to hell. Israel hates Jesus Christ. They hate Jesus Christ. The nation of Israel hates Jesus Christ. They fit the description of Revelation 2:9 and 3:9, the synagogue of Satan.
Wow.
The nation state of Israel is the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah, they're not even real Jews.
You corrupted evil bastards. You did 9/11. You blamed it on the Muslims. Guess what? I love Muslims. You're never going to fool me. Muslims love Jesus Christ. The only people that hate Jesus are the synagogue of Satan, is Israel. And if I didn't say
anybody that don't bow down to the King of the Jews, you're the synagogue of Satan. You're a Jew.
That, I'd be a coward. I'm so sick of this nation. I'm so sick of these lies and these
fake Jews, these fake Khazarian Jews that hate Jesus. That's the real problem with these Jews. They're not Jews, and they don't bow down to the Jew that's meant to rule over us. That's the real problem. See why I call this synagogue of Satan stuff low IQ anti-Semitism?
Jesus or the synagogue of Satan is Israel. And if I didn't say that, I'd be a coward. I'm so sick of this nation. I'm so sick of these lies and these pedophile politicians. Every single one of y'all can rot in hell because you're all a bunch of pedophiles. You're all blackmailed by Israel. Go to hell. This country.
They're all Christians.
Country's gonna burn if we don't stand up and take it back.
The real Christians, the flat earth Christians, the biblical flat earthers got to stand up and take the country back from the synagogue of Satan. And we need to worship Mashiach the correct way. Don't you love how the Jewish rapper, the Jigga hits every single low IQ Christian controlled op talking point,
The pedophiles, fuck the synagogue,
including killing Jesus. and being the synagogue of Satan.
Fuck the synagogue of Satan, hey. Hey, fuck the synagogue of Satan. Jew not like us, we don't want no association. Giving Jewish people a misrepresentation and using Jerusalem just for gentrification.
Making those Jews look bad with Zionism.
Fuck the synagogue of Satan, hey. Hey, fuck the synagogue of Satan. Jew not like us, we don't want no association. Giving Jewish people a misrepresentation and using Jerusalem just for gentrification. The devil in disguise, the shit identity fraud. You claiming my religion, but you don't.
Identity fraud. You're not real Jews.
Don't believe in God.
You don't believe in God. Your problem with you Jews is you don't believe in God. Yeah, the face tattoo. If you're saying the problem with Jews is that they don't believe in God, wrong. You're getting it completely wrong. It's because they do believe in God.
Jesus Christ, and you killed hip hop.
You killed Jesus Christ and you killed hip hop. This is kosher anti-Semitism. That's why the Jigga rapper is promoting it. Nothing they fear more, huh? Is that why Netanyahu's shilling the Jesus, whipping the money changers in the temple? Synagogue of Satan, don't believe in God. Killed Jesus.
But you don't believe in God. You killed Jesus Christ and you killed hip-hop. My good Jewish people, it's time to drain the swamp. Exposing the snakes in the grass and the hypocrites. Eliminate all the pedophiles and degenerates. Abusing our tribe is something to hide behind. Even the Bible said you're the destruction of mankind. Ruining our culture, you the dirtiest and slimiest. You the reason that the whole world hating Zionists.
So Zionists are why the whole world is hating Zionists? So Zionism is good. It's only the bad synagogue of Satan Zionists that are bad, making real Zionism, real Judaism look bad. Is that what it is? This is worse than Christian rock. This is a banger, dude. This is the E-Crusaders summer anthem. They're like, this is a good one. We got a good Jew here. Adam Green, he's an evil satanic Jew. This Jew, he is my brother. He gets it.
You're the destruction of mankind, ruining our culture. You the dirtiest and slimiest. You the reason that the whole world hating Zionists. You the reason that I have to deal with anti-Semitism and keep having to apologize to Muslims and Christians. Because of y'all, everybody blaming Israel.
So because of Jews and Israel, people are blaming Israel. Coping or checking, yeah.
Because of y'all, civilian children are getting killed. I'm unifying Ashkenazi and Sephardic. Let's free Palestine and turn the devil to our target. Because we long overdue for a peaceful compromise. Once we recognize there's evil on both sides. Soldiers in the IDF, I pray your soul is blessed. But understand Hamas ain't the only terrorists. Jewish privileges, I haven't received any. The Rothschild family hasn't given me a penny. George Soros hasn't given me a dime. See, he's the type of swine that's an enemy of mine. Lord, protect my bloodline from the Jeffrey Epsteins, the Harvey Weinsteins, raping and molesting government.
Dude, what a self-hating Jew. This is a Shana Goyim trying to embarrass the Jews like this. It's always the gingers that are embarrassing, right? The gingers that convert to Islam. That's the equivalent of this guy.
The cleansing.
Only prayer matters. Just keep praying to Hashem, Goy. That's all that matters.
Crooked politicians on the right and the left wing. Nancy Pelosi manipulating stocks. And fuck Larry Fink, the owner of BlackRock. You think Scott Gottlieb is living by the Torah? His grandfather created MK Ultra. And he's the same guy behind the Pfizer vaccine.
Oh, man, I wanted to hear the rest. He can stay. The rest of them gotta go. That is so funny. So funny. They did my joke for me. John Garas, the most cringe Christ cuck trying to pick up girls.
And meet your
Listen to how he talks. Why does he talk like a preacher from the movies?
Oh, you're headed for a burning hell. You're headed for a burning hell. Turn around, take your blindfold off. Repent and follow Jesus.
Repent and follow Jesus. Take your blindfold off. Consuming in the fire. Once anointed unto men and wants to die, but after this, the judgment, consuming fire fellowship. Dude, you're scaring away all the girls. Quit creeping out the girls, bro.
You still have time. You're not promised a tomorrow. You could die at any instant and meet your maker. Oh, you're headed for
Dude,
burning hell.
The effects of the Christ brand have been devastating on our people.
You're headed for a burning hell. Turn around, take your blindfold off, repent and follow Jesus Christ while you still have time. You're not promised a tomorrow. You could die at any instant. And
okay, sure, bro. We heard you. We got it.
meet your maker.
Dude, so obnoxious. Yeah, that's the reaction. That's the reaction that he's getting right there. Perfect meme. Iconic meme. Perfect meme. Rochelle
sent $5. Jesus is scaring away all the.
I hope you said pussy. Jesus is scaring away all the pussy, right? Is that what you said? It's blotted out, so I'm just assuming that's what it said. All the bitches. Okay. That's offensive. Nick Fuentes energy. Yeah, that's funny. Christ tards. Nick Fuentes energy. That's hilarious. All right. We're going to have to do a Volkish spirit. And we're just going to have to do a Germans. He's found so much new stuff. I think I'm going to have to do a whole new anti-Christian Germany video, part 2, pretty soon here. Speaking of Fuentes, once again, confirming Christians are spiritual Jews. No more posting the memes trying to call us Jewish gripers. You're the spiritual Jews. You're the wannabe Jews. You worship the King of the Jews. No more calling us Jews. You're the spiritual Jews.
That's the whole.
This is peak anti-Semitism. This is kosher anti-Semitism.
That's the whole message of the gospel, is that we have a spiritual temple. We don't have a literal temple with literal sacrifices, and we have a spiritual temple, a spiritual kingdom.
We're not like temple cucks. We just have a spiritual temple. Like, why do you give a fuck about the Jewish temple, dude? Why do you care? Why do you want to have a spiritual temple? Like, you don't want to really circumcise, but you want to have a circumcised heart. Like, do you not realize how cucked that is? Heart wieners.
And the line of David, the line of Abraham and Moses is now spiritual. You're spiritually an Israelite or a Jew.
Spiritually Jewish. Yeah, that's how we out-Jew the Jews, is we become Jews.
Because we're part of the covenant with Jesus, which is available to everybody. So
we drink the magic blood and we become Jews. We get sprayed with the water. We drink the magic blood. You worship the King of the Jews and you become a spiritual Jew. Come on. Dice Trail
sent $10. It will be nice when the Grow-Ipers finally drop the fake Christian act.
I hope so. Hey, see through it all. I see in the chat. Can you find me the J. Dyer? I could probably find it. I'll just search spiritual Jew.
Message of the gospel.
Listen to what Nick has to say about J. Dyer, by the way.
Of preventing any further corruption of the Vatican since there's evidence.
They're beefing. The old tale as old as time, the Catholic, Eastern Orthodox schism, they just can't get along.
Freedom with Authority sent $50. J. Dyer has been asking for another summary of the AF movement plan and what the outcomes are of that. He's also skeptical if whether or not it'll end up preventing any further corruption of the Vatican since there's evidence for that happening based on what is told. Would you be a nice guy and address those concerns? Pretty please?
No. Jay Dyer's an asshole. He's in no position to ask for anything. Get an audience, then he could ask for... Do anything productive.
Come on, dude. That's a cop-out. Jay Dyer has an audience. He's the leader of the Ortho Bro E-Crusaders, and you're going to pussy out and say he doesn't have an audience? I sense fear in Fuentes. Just like I sense fear in Fuentes, he doesn't want to debate me, or Jay Dyer doesn't want to debate. I sense the fear, and this is a cop-out.
And by the way, Jay Dyer, let's just be honest, Jay Dyer would not talk about the Jews in Israel for years.
True.
Years. And now that it's popular, now he wants to talk a little bit about it. But the entire time, constantly attacking the Catholics, constantly attacking the Catholic Church. So I think he's a coward. He is a coward who would not talk about the Jews in Israel because it benefited his career. And he has basically admitted
True.
in private
Yep.
for many years, telling
True.
people, hey, well, I got...
Just shilling Jew worship. That's what he does. Shilling the fake Jewish prophecies.
To pay the bills. Hey, well, I want to keep my channel. This guy is a straight up coward. Ask him about it. For years, he would never talk about Jews in Israel because he knows that's actually controversial. But he never pulled his punches on Catholics. Always attacking his fellow Christians, always attacking.
That's right. But he's right about that. His criticisms of the Vatican, saying how kosher it is. What does he actually say? He says they wear a small hat, something like that. Jay Dyer hates the West. He can barely hide it. Yeah, he's an ortho bro, so that's exactly what they do. Hate on the West.
Catholics, because that's easy, and you're not. That just speaks.
So I agree with Nick that Jay Dyer's a coward that won't criticize Jewish power and shills Jesus. And I agree with Dyer that Fuentes is running cover for how kosher the Vatican is. But they're both spiritual Jews.
Are Christians. Spiritual Jews are Christians. Spiritual Jews are Christians. Spiritual Jews are Christians.
So no more calling us rabbis. No more calling us Jews. No more denying that you worship the King of the Jews and that you're spiritual Jews. Well, we've had enough of it. No more going, Adam thinks he's debating a Protestant, or Adam thinks Protestants are all Christians, and we're based not like those Protestants. Enough. Enough of that stupid bullshit cope. I've read your Orthodox study Bible. I know what it says. See through it all has clipped up hours of Jay Dyer saying all types of kosher shit. We're going to get into it in a second.
Spiritual Jews are Christians. Spiritual Jews are Christians.
Yeah, these are your e-Crusader heroes.
To
right here
was that we have you're spiritually an Israelite or a Jew. Because we're
all right, you're spiritual Jews because you believe in the King of the Jews. We get it. Now listen to this. This is Jay Dyer is actually, I agree with here. He says, quote, Jews do the same type of spiritual exegesis as Christianity. He's basically saying Christianity is a bunch of Jews that were reading the scripture spiritually, esoterically, mystically, just like the Kabbalah rabbis do. That's what he's saying in this argument here with what is it? Darkness? What is the name? Primordial chaos called him. Let's
see
listen.
Christ as the Messiah. So in their view, most of the prophecies that are in, the major and minor prophets have to be pretty much restricted to an immediate grammatical historical sense. But oddly enough, even in the messianic text that Jews accept, there's future predictions about what the Messiah will bring. So
see, messianic text, because there's really nothing very clear in the prophets in the Old Testament about what the Messiah is. It doesn't say the Messiah will do this and this and this. It's not straightforward like that. So everything kind of has to be interpreted to be about the Messiah. It's only a messianic prophecy if some Jews agree that this is about the Messiah. So he's saying Jews do that. They ignore the original context of what the scripture was originally about and read it spiritually. And he's right that the Jews, that don't agree with the Christians doing that. They go, that's Isaiah 53. That's out of context. That's about the suffering servant is the people of Israel, not the Messiah. But the Jews that first believed that Isaiah 53 was about the Messiah are ignoring the context, reading it midrashically. And he's saying that's what Jews do too. And he's right. Christianity is basically started by some Kabbalistic Jews. He even compares it to pardes, which means paradise, which is the belief in Kabbalah that there's 4 levels of interpretation of the Torah. That's how kosher Christianity is. He's comparing Christianity exegesis to Kabbalistic and Talmudic rabbinical exegesis.
Prophecies that are in, the major and minor prophets have to be pretty much restricted to an immediate grammatical historical sense. But oddly enough, even in the messianic text that Jews accept, there's future predictions about what the Messiah will bring. So I would argue that they apply an inconsistent hermeneutic because they will spiritualize a lot of these texts to refer to God's enemies or the enemies of Israel, but yet they castigate like the Christian interpretation for, quote, spiritualizing or giving a Christological context when they do the very same thing. So
See, Jews do the very same thing with how they interpret their scripture.
The fourfold sense of exegesis, pardes, which is in the rabbinical tradition, the Christians do the same thing.
Christians do the same thing as pardes. Do you guys realize what Jay is revealing right now? He's saying Christianity is just the same as Kabbalah. He wants to be a real Jew so bad. So in Judaism, pardes is the legend of four rabbis entering a mystical orchard, where they learn it represents the four levels of biblical interpretation. There's the literal meaning, the hints of allegorical, the homiletical, and the secret and mystical. So just like Paul says, he was caught up into the third heaven where he learned the mysteries of God. He had his revelation. He received the mysteries of God. He's describing a Kabbalistic mystical ascension experience. And this is what they're doing. Christians were scouring the scriptures, the Jews were scouring the scriptures and connecting different themes midrashically and ignoring the original context and interpreting them to be about the Messiah, and then believing that this was actually had occurred in a heavenly realm and was being revealed according to the scriptures, revealed through the scriptures with their proper interpretation of the Holy Spirit. J. Dyer is comparing the first Christians to Kabbalah rabbis. That's how kosher it is.
So the fourfold sense of God's enemies or the enemies of Israel, but yet they castigate.
It's a hermeneutical paradise, bro. It's just like, yeah, like we have the temple liturgy. Our fathers dress up like the Pharisees. We came in through the Noahidic covenant. We're Noahides. And Jesus is the ultimate Jew, and we become the spiritual Jews when we worship the ultimate Jew, just according to all the Jewish prophecies. And you can't criticize any of this unless you acknowledge that logic can only be grounded in my Jewish God.
Like the Christian interpretation for, quote, spiritualizing or giving a Christological context when they do the very same thing. So the fourfold sense of exegesis, pardes.
And he's right. When Rabbi Tovia Singer will say, those stupid Christians, that's Isaiah 53 means the suffering servant, the people of Israel. Doesn't mean the Messiah, or all the other numerous times that Christianity does that. It's like, dude, Tovia, you know what they're doing. They're just doing Kabbalistic, mystical reinterpretation of Scripture. They're creating peshers by midrashically and mystically reading these texts. They know it, but they don't reveal it because it shows that Jesus is a Jewish myth. And it's very clear who invented him and why: to conquer the nations. So this is a big reveal by Dyer. Dyer's actually like one of the most honest Christians, and he gives us all the material confirming what we say. And then the trad cats will go, "Oh, you're a rabbi and you don't understand orthodoxy." It's like, no, we do. We do.
Yeah, they castigate like the Christian interpretation for, quote, spiritualizing or giving a Christological context when they do the very same thing. So the fourfold sense of exegesis, pardes, which is in the rabbinical tradition, the Christians do the same thing.
Christians are just doing Kabbalah, bro. What's the big deal? Like, we dress up, we LARP as the Jewish wizards, and we reread the temple liturgy, and our churches are set up like the temple, and we just do like the Kabbalistic, spiritualizing, messianic, Christological exegesis, just like the Kabbalah rabbis. What's the big deal?
So they will do the same type of spiritual exegesis, but then they'll say, Christianity is false because of all the spiritual exegesis, which is false. But they do the same type of exegesis.
Jews and Christians do the same type of exegesis, which just means like interpretation. Need More Amalek says, and then he gets mad at us. I was going to join his space the other day just to get him to confirm all of this stuff.
Well, I'm just kind of asking because this seems to be a pretty important person.
All right. That's our very own Primordial Chaos. Now, here he is in the same talk, confirming that Gentiles were brought into Judaism via the concept of the Noahidic covenant in the Noahide laws in Acts 15.
Of it.
But Adam, all your sources, hey, Rabbi Greenberg, all your sources are rabbis. No, I could just show you Rabbi Dyer and Rabbi Jones and spiritually Jewish Nick Fuentes.
And I mean, we look at Acts 15.
Nod Mark, thank you.
Nod Mark sent $40 on Rumble. I understand this so much better because of you, and I love all of your impressions. Thanks for all your work. Cheers.
Thank you, Nodwall. I'm glad you're understanding it. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to teach. Trying to teach and vent and entertain. See Through It All is right. Dyer is a great gift to the green pill. He actually is. He confirms everything we say. He just goes like, oh, dude, but it's totally real, man. It's totally real, and it's totally good. Jay Dyer's just like, Adam Green's not a serious person, but like, I trust everything Jews wrote in the Bible, bro. Yeah. That's like philosophy 101, but like I trust everything Jews wrote in the Bible because of like my precept transcendental argument. Like the Jews are like magical and chosen, and I totally believe it. Elijah Schaefer, InfoWars, also spiritual Jews.
Basically, if you believe in Jesus Christ and the covenant, from my understanding, then now you're Jewish. In terms of, that's like the joke, but
So the people that want to be spiritual Jews and want to be the new Israel and want to have the covenant and want everybody to bow down to the Moshiach, call us Jews if we don't believe in the magical Jewish fairy tales. Isn't it funny how that works?
Incredibly. Basically, if you believe in Jesus Christ and the covenant, from my understanding, then now you're Jewish. In terms of, that's like the joke, but
that is an incredibly astute theological observation that very few Christians understand.
Yeah, that I'm saying, like, it's like
Abraham, grafted in.
Correct. So you're
right?
so you're brought into like the true Jew is one who's circumcised of the heart, right?
Right.
Basically,
the real Jews just have a symbolic circumcision on our heart wieners, which is not even original to Christianity. That's found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. That's pre-Christian, and it's a play off a verse in the Old Testament. And then these Christians, they all admit they're spiritual Jews, and these Christians have the audacity to say that it's Jewish to reject the King of the Jews.
Rejecting Christ is the most Jewish thing you can do.
We are receiving a Jewish salvation by virtue of our faith in Christ. Christ is the most Jewish Jew who ever lived.
Rejecting Christ is
I love how Dyer says the exact same thing too. He's the ultimate Jew. We're Jews because we believe in the ultimate Jew. Now here he is talking about Noahide laws again.
And I mean, we look at Acts 15 where this question comes up about how should Gentile converts be received into the church. And the church decides in Acts 15 that God wouldn't require anything more than what was required of Noah. So Acts 15 actually.
So like James or Jacob and Peter and Shaul the Pharisee, they all decided that like the Gentiles could become Noahides if they just like bow down to the Jewish Messiah, and then they can be grafted in, and we could be like the new Israel, like through the Noahide laws. See what I'm saying? Christianity is already Noahide laws. Not perfect. Islam too. Not perfect Noahides, but a step in the right direction, as their top rabbi say.
God wouldn't require anything more than what was required of Noah. So Acts 15 actually looks back to the Noahic covenant to say that since Christianity is true Israelite worship for the nations, that's our view of it.
We're like the true Jew worship. We're like the actual. We show the Israelites the real way to worship to like make them envious.
There's not a lot of Catholic European.
Oh, that's not the one.
Going to bring the Gentile converts in on the basis of what was expected in the Noahic covenant. And I mean, we look at Acts 15 where this question comes up about how should Gentile converts be received in.
Dude, I'm looking for maybe this is it.
They're trying to take Trump's head off because he represents this like Russian Jewish.
Okay, that's not it. I'm looking for the clip where Nick says that their covenant is still valid. And it's just not coming up for me in my advanced search. Annoying. Didn't have it prepared. Let's see, where are we at? 2 hours? Halfway to the goal. Oh, let's do more Jay Dyer. We'll address Leonarda, who I asked to come on tomorrow. She says she's busy. Maybe we can get her on at some point, but she was bringing up, her and Jake brought me up on their podcast and misrepresented what we're saying to make it seem absurd. Let's hear Alex Jones and Jay Dyer talk about Peter Thiel and the Antichrist. Let's hear it.
Peter Thiel, I haven't gone and seen his Antichrist lecture. I've tried to get tickets that sold out, but I've read what he says about it. He's like, there'll be these crises and disorder, and the Antichrist will promise order, and then he's all about stagnancy in technology. He says, be laissez-faire and grow. What do you make of what he's saying and doing?
So, I mean, giving him the benefit of the doubt, he seems to be interested in Christianity, moving in the direction of Christianity, giving a more negative appraisal. He's influenced by technocratic ideas that, with Palantir and things like that. I read his book, 0 to 1, and there's a whole chapter where he talks about Palantir basically being something given to the NSA to track and trace. It has a location in Israel, so I think there's a lot of danger there. Whether he's really moving in the direction of Christianity is up to, I want to hope for the best, but
always the worst one it came from. His parents were like super Protestant hyper.
Yeah, right. Well, the lecture seems to be kind of taking the ideas of Christianity, and I've only seen clips, so if I haven't seen the whole thing, but when he was talking to that journalist, when they were interviewing him about Antichrist, and he was saying partial truths.
Thessalonians?
Well, he was saying that Antichrist is going to be collectivist, and so you need to promote classical liberal ideas. And I mean, in a basic sense, that's kind of true. But again, the danger is that a lot of technocrats, people like that, they want to appropriate some of the Christian ideas and turn them into transhumanist ideas. So I think that I'd like to see Peter Thiel move away from transhumanism, which he seems to be a proponent of, if he wants to get into Christianity. So, but I don't know his motives personally.
Me neither, but we should certainly have a larger debate about what is the Antichrist.
I think there's going to be a single human figure that will be the final Antichrist. I mean, that's pretty much.
But there are many Antichrists.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Orthodox Church believes Hitler was an Antichrist, just like he was.
Just like the rabbis. I had not seen that yet. What's with all these ortho bro Nazis? You should listen to your boy Jay Dyer here. That is so funny. Just like the rabbis, they think he's Haman, and Esau, and in satanic opposition to the Jews.
About what is the Antichrist?
I think there's going to be a single human figure that will be the final Antichrist. I mean, that's pretty much.
But there are many Antichrists.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Orthodox Church believes Hitler was an Antichrist, just like Napoleon was an Antichrist. He was motivated to move and to fight against Russia because Russia was one of the bastions of Christianity at that time, and that's where we get to Ukraine.
Wait. Wasn't that like decades after the Bolshevik Revolution? And it was still the bastion of Christianity? I thought it was the Bolsheviks and the communists.
In its neo-Nazi form today as part of that attempt to carve away.
Well, Rob Reiner got asked last year when he put himself in a mental institution. He said, why do you hate Russia so much? He goes, well, they're Christian now. They loved it when it was run by the left.
Well, they don't want any Christian nation state. I mean, Trajan Hope says that in the first 100 pages that that's whether it's Catholic nation state, Austro-Hungarian Empire, or whether it's Russia being Orthodox Christian, that has to all be destroyed to bring in the New World Order. I mean,
yeah, that's the narrative. Russia is the bastion of Christianity, and it's denazifying Ukraine and Europe and the West, the satanic West, satanic Nazi West. That's the narrative. The evil, satanic Antichrist Edom, like his buddy Dugan says. And like his fellow Kabbalist rabbis with the same exegesis.
And that's paradoxical. The average Catholic I know is super engaged against evil, really smart, nice, good people. Then you actually read Catholic elite doctrine out of the papacy. It's literal New World Order Satanism. And then I know Catholics are freaked out by that, like Mel Gibson and people, and try to keep the classical thing going. You used to be a Catholic, went into Orthodox. It's you see it as older and pure, but how do you deal with that when church
Onyx Rock sent $5. Who do you find more subversive overall, Jay or Nick? Jay's geopolitics, and near treasonous, but Nick's damage to the psyche of Gen Z men is immeasurable.
I'd say Nick is worse in the sense of how the Christian anti-Semitism benefits the Jewish victimhood. Dyer doesn't do the Christian anti-Semitism, but Nick is better when it comes to he's not Russian Orthodox Church and doing the anti. Hold on, let me think about this for a second. Dyer's more of a seems like more of a Russian agent that's anti-West than Nick is. Nick used to do stuff like that, but in the last few years has kind of, changed that up a bit. So I would say that. Who's better for calling out Jewish power? Nick by way far. Dyer never touches it. So who do I like more? Nick way more. Who could I listen to and find more entertaining? Nick, hands down. Nick is a wannabe Jew, though. Spiritual Jews who think they're the new Israel and chosen people. What's worse than one Israel and one group of people who thinks they're chosen? All the Christians wanting to be chosen too.
Leadership's bad, but then the people in the church are good. So it's very paradoxical.
Dyer calls himself a comedian too on his bio, and but Nick is so much funnier and more enjoyable to listen to. Dyer is boring as hell and obnoxious and just like off-putting.
There's a symbiotic relationship, of a kind of abuse relationship that goes on where you keep defending the system that you think is the answer, and then you realize the people that are running it are actually the ones that are your enemy and the ones that hate you. So if you're, say, a Roman Catholic and you're devoted to that, you're trying to give people to Catholicism, and you think that the enemy is outside and it's people like me or somebody else arguing or debating with you. But then you realize at the end of the day, well, why does the guy that I'm defending, the grand poobah of this system.
Dude, why does he have his suit hiked up in the back like he's an ortho bro priest? You know how they have the weird
there's
Star Wars look?
Syndrome abuse relationship that goes on there. And that's
he's just got like his first degree shoulder pads, neck bulge. You guys know who I'm talking about. They wear weird robes that go up in the back like they're part of the Bene Gesserit. That was it. Oh my God. Half of the video is ads.
There right now, and
Jesus,
you're one of
Jones.
Alex Jones's audience.
All right. What else do we have?
Yeah, the Vatican is all powerful. That's why you're able to talk about Catholics with impunity, right? And not Jews. Now he wants a piece of me. For years, he wanted nothing to do with me. Wanted nothing to do with that conversation. Now he wants a piece of me. Now he wants to shoehorn in, oh, it's the Jews and the Vatican. Fuck off with that. If you're about that.
See, he's running cover for the Vatican. So I agree with Jay Dyer that we should be criticizing the Vatican. He doesn't go far enough with his criticisms.
Fuck off. Honestly, not wasting my time with that.
Dude, isn't it funny? Top ortho bro, theologian, top Catholic bro, both of them scared to have a conversation with me. Can't get along with one another and scared to talk to me. They both suck. Here's a see through it all. Jay Dyer is a Russian agent who scapegoats all the actions of Israel on the West, in this case, the British.
The British Empire saw this as a way to capitalize on moving Jewish people there, creating a powder keg, and it became a political project increasingly more relevant to the Atlanticist establishment, particularly the British Empire. So the British Empire
arrogant. You're right, Alabama.
What we know of as the Middle East today, together with the French. But the French gradually get pushed out. They have less and less of an influence in the Middle East. So as we come up to then Israel is a very complicated situation. We've covered this many times. You can go watch my previous videos. But essentially,
every video it's just like, well, like Zionism isn't real because like we're the true Israel. Every video, that's all he ever says. See, like seed is plural and like we're all the seeds now, so it's our covenant. Paul says that not all that Israel are Israel, so that means we get to be Jews now too if we believe in Jesus, the King of the Jews. That's his take on Israel. And then, like C. Theodore says, blaming Europe and Europeans for it.
The British set up the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem as an operative there to help foster, at this time, support for and aid for the British project in the Middle East, namely to try to control Mecca. And the British also thought, well, if we could also get a hold of the Holy Land.
Dude, imagine blaming the British for trying to take over Mecca as why the state of Israel was created. Blaming Europeans for everything. This is on the level of like Israel is the secular nation state of modern day Theodore Herzl. They were all atheist, and it was actually the British that just wanted to have like a base over there, and it's totally not the Jews and their prophecies. Their prophecies not real because Jesus already fulfilled the prophecies. So the temple is spiritual now and like heavenly Jerusalem. So like none of that matters, and we're just trusting the plan. But the Antichrist has to rule, and then Jesus will come down on his horse and destroy everybody, especially the West and the evil satanic Edom. They'll be destroyed the worst, and if you don't believe all that, and if you don't believe in vegan sharks, you're not a serious person. You ever thought about the fall and Noah's flood on weed, man?
This would be two very...
Jay Dyer should go be the king of the nation, the Christian kingdom in Jerusalem. I think Jay Dyer would be the leader of the E-Crusader kingdom of Israel.
Important Islamic sites that if the British Empire controlled would allow them to have a lot of power over the entire Islamic world.
Israel is like a secret conspiracy of the Atlanticists that are like trying to have their Carol Quigley New World Order, Satanic Luciferian New World Order. Now here he is with...
Wrote a book.
Is this with...
Some of them are like...
Let's do some more. This is the most Jay Dyer I've ever watched, no joke.
Moses Hess is another one of these characters who wrote a book. He's the founder of utopian socialism.
People are commenting, isn't it just like 12-year-old girls that highlight their book up like this? Like circle, double underline, star, heart. Dude, you guys want to see one of my books? It's highlights and bookmarks. Is this like a Christian thing to tag up their books like this?
And he wrote a book called Roman Jerusalem. And it's all about the New World Order, but it's just kind of like, we want a New World Order with this kind of Zionist flavor.
This is how men highlight things, Jay Dyer.
Flavor. It's the same.
Sorry, Jay Dyer.
And China wants one, but they want them.
The New World Order.
Let me document cam, please. Let me show off my book and prove that I read so much because I've tagged it up with a bunch of squiggly lines and circles. This is how grown-ups highlight shit, Jay Dyer. FYI. Jay loves teeny boppers. This is like, dude, looking at this, your little diary here, leaves me with only one question, Jay. Only one. A lot of people were commenting on this too, by the way.
All right, man, I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth. Are you a fag?
And he wrote a book called Roman Jerusalem. And
so, yeah, he also does scrapbooking and braids bracelets and has a bunch of teenage heartthrob boy bands posters on his wall as he's reading his Hebrew scriptures.
Utopian socialism. And he wrote a book called Roman Jerusalem. And it's all about the New World Order, but it's just kind of like, we want a New World Order with this kind of Zionist flavor. These guys are saying, well, we want a New World Order with kind of a Theosophy New Age flavor. It's the same stuff.
And China wants one, but they want them to run
exactly.
It.
They have a 100-year plan.
So it's like the ring. Everybody wants the ring, but it's still the same ring.
Yeah, but again.
Exactly. They all want to be the chosen people. What do you think Judaism, Christianity, and Islam all are? They all want to be the chosen people, the ring. Zeroff says that's what my grandma's Bible looks like. I know. My mom does the same thing to her Bibles and her bulletin she gets at church. Perfect comment, Zeroffs. My grandma's Bible.
He wants the ring, but it's still the same ring.
Yeah, but again, like it's a little.
Yeah, instead of teenage heartthrob boy bands, he has icons of Jesus, icons of his Hebrew Savior, all over his wall as he's scrapbooking his Jesus icons.
More complex than just saying, oh, it's all the Jews, because you can't have all the Jews. They didn't run the papacy when the papacy decided to print the Talmud. The Talmud was printed by Leo X in the time of Martin Luther. That's the Pope who was the patron of that. Usury used to be illegal until the papacy decided that usury is not illegal anymore. It's not a moral sin anymore. There's a famous Roman Catholic named Michael Hoffman who wrote a book called
the Jews?
Usury, the sin that was not, that was and now is not. So if you believe that Jews run everything, it could only have happened if the papacy conceded all that power in the West and allowed and committed the support of Judaism to do these
things. Jay Dyer gets on InfoWars and he's just like taking shots at the Catholic Church. Yeah.
Garrett
no more infighting though.
Can't say diary without Dyer.
Diary, yeah. Diary. Okay, come on.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
get global elite test.
This should be good.
This is our second little lecture. We'll get going now.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you could start with is...
You want this? I'll give you the thing you go through.
One thing that...
Dude, pull your jacket down, Jay.
This is not one of the texts, but I did bring...
He leaves it like that.
You started your lecture last week that was only like 45 minutes long with the Israel thing, and because I see it as people only learning about globalism, the New World Order, through Israel or Jews. We're not taking away from like wanting to know about that, but it also becomes a limiting issue.
It is, because it's bigger than that, right? Changing images of man is the bigger picture, saying we don't really care about Old Testament Judaism. We don't really care about Israel. I mean, again, it's a lot of theosophy. And
well, look at how the left.
Wait, hold on. We don't care about Old Testament Judaism. Okay, I'm on board. Is that a problem?
We don't really care about Israel. I mean, again.
Oh no, God forbid. We don't care about Israel. That's the problem? What is the problem here?
Judaism. We don't really care. It is, because it's bigger than that, right? Changing images of man is the bigger picture, saying we don't really care about Old Testament Judaism. We don't really care about Israel. I mean, again, it's a lot of theosophy. And
well, look at how the left is totally on board against Israel. And I'm not saying Israel doesn't deserve some of it. I'm saying this is a sick...
It's bad to be anti-Israel, folks. Let me tell you.
Also can't say verbal diarrhea without Dyer.
Gay liar. I mean, Jay Dyer. What? He's monotone. Yeah, that is the problem, I think. Dude, they're like not pro-Israel. And they like don't care about the Old Testament Judaism in Israel. Like, this is bad. This is satanic.
And now the left is totally on board against Israel. And I'm not...
Judaism. We don't really care about Israel. I mean, again, it's a lot of theosophy. And
well, look at how the left is totally on board against Israel. And I'm not saying Israel doesn't deserve some of it. I'm saying this is a sick coalition. There's something bigger here.
Yeah, well, the text, like theosophy, which influenced the Third Reich, which influenced most of the socialists out there in the world today.
Dude, look at Jay Dyer. This is Jay Dyer in his suit. Chris Farley. Right there. Dude, that's what he looks like with his jacket turned up like that. Dude, that's funny. Good one. Who said that?
Theosophy is opposed to anything to do with Yahweh, anything to do with the Bible, anything to do with the Old Testament.
Oh my God. God forbid. What? Dude, the worst thing in the world is to be anti-Yahweh and anti-Old Testament Judaism and anti-Israel, bro. Then you're like satanic, demonic, antichrist, Western scum. You're like neo-pagan, worshiping demons. You don't bow down to the king of the Jews. Dude, I haven't watched this yet. I'm sorry, but listen to this. The ultimate evil right here, according to Jay Dyer.
Is opposed to anything to do with Yahweh, anything to do with the Bible, anything to do with the Old Testament.
Then you're just like Amalek and you'll have to be destroyed. You don't want to bow down. Every knee will bow to the Moshiach. Dude, do you hear that? You know how kosher this is? This sounds word for word like what a rabbi would say. He was mad. Jones interrupted him there. Dude, can you believe this? I told you guys I hadn't heard it yet. Fat guy in a little coat. How's your theosophy, bro? If you're not like, if you don't bow down to, if you don't care about the Bible and Hashem, I mean Yahweh, and you don't want to be the new Israel, You don't want to be the ultimate Jew and LARP as Jewish wizards like your father, your church fathers do. Like, you're a theosophist, bro. You're just like a neo-pagan, satanic theosophist.
So when we come to the founding of the nation state of Israel, it is true that like theosophy, which influenced and
well, look at how the left is totally on board against Israel. And I'm not saying Israel doesn't deserve some of it. I'm saying this is a sick coalition. There's something bigger here.
Yeah, well,
sick to be against Israel.
Like theosophy, which influenced the Third Reich, which influenced most of the socialists out there in the world today. Theosophy is opposed to anything to do with Yahweh, anything to do with the Bible, anything to do with the Old Testament. So when we come to...
Sounds awesome. I guess I need to look into theosophy. Sounds awesome. It's anti-Bible, anti-Yahweh.
The founding of the nation state of Israel. It is true that Edmund Rothschild was an operative who had a code name, and his code name was to be a secret benefactor.
Well, this wasn't written by Adolf Hitler or something. This was written by the Rothschilds. This is their authorized biography.
The authorized biography is by, I think it was Morton, was the guy's name.
Yeah.
Frederick Morton, a 1962 text. It's just a mainline biography. It's not a conspiracy text. But it's talking about how Baron Edmund de Rothschild had a plan to purchase a lot of...
Theosophy is 2002 conspiracy shit. I've heard it. Is that Blavatsky?
Tracts of land decades before there was a political Zionist movement. So this was in the late 1800s. Moses Hess is another one of these characters who wrote a book. He's the founder of utopian socialism, and he wrote a book called Roman Jerusalem. And it's all about the New World Order, but it's just kind of like, we want a New World Order with this kind of Zionist flavor. These guys are saying, well, we want a New World Order with kind of a theosophy, New Age flavor.
I haven't heard any like based quotes from her about being anti Yahweh. Mystic nonsense. Yeah, that's every time I've heard Blavatsky, it seemed like nonsense. So he's just hyping up some long thing like, oh, it's totally anti-Bible and satanic and evil. Yeah, I just looked it up. It says any of a number of philosophies maintaining that knowledge of God may be achieved through spiritual ecstasy, direct intuition, or special individual. Sounds just like kooky, made up guru shit. Donnie Darkin's always talking about this stuff. God, he made it sound so cool when he said it was anti-Yahweh and anti the Bible.
It's the same stuff.
And China wants one, but they want them to run
exactly.
it.
They have a 100-year plan.
So it's like the ring. Everybody wants the ring, but it's still the same ring.
Yeah, but again, like it's a little more complex than just saying, oh, it's all the Jews, because you can't have all the Jews. They didn't run the papacy when the papacy decided to print the Talmud. The Talmud was printed by Leo X in the time of Martin Luther. That's the Pope who was the patron of that. Usury used to be illegal.
The Vatican printed Talmuds probably to inform Christians about the Talmud, or was it because they just wanted the Jews to have their Talmud?
Until the papacy decided that usury is not illegal anymore. It's not a moral sin anymore. There's a famous Roman Catholic named Michael Hoffman who wrote a book called Usury, the Sin That Was Not, that was and now is not. So if you believe that Jews run everything, it could only have happened if the papacy conceded all that power in the West and allowed and committed the support of Judaism to do these things.
I guess they did.
There wouldn't be a nation state of Israel if there wasn't World War II, the Havara Agreement, and if Hitler wasn't promoting remigration of Jews. And so there's books written about the collaboration between Nazis and Zionists. This is a historic fact. But that's all too complex. Everybody just wants it to be all black and white. So are you going to choose theosophy or are you going to choose Judaism? Well, what if I don't want either one of those? What if what's a false dialectic? What if they're both wrong? What if the Middle East should be a Christian place?
He's on that too, huh? He's pushing the Steve Bannon, Alex Jones, Third Rome type of shit. Oh, what if we had like a Christian kingdom in the Holy Land? Rabbi Dyer wants to go move to the fucking desert. Oh, what if we all made Aliyah and returned to the Holy Land where Rabbi Yeshua walked? What is that a good idea? I didn't know he was pushing that shit too. That's Rabbi Dyer, by the way.
Christian kingdom. It was part of Byzantium.
Yeah, why aren't we talking about expanding instead of just being on the defense?
Yeah, so I've been to Rochelle.
Yeah, we got to go. Let's have a new crusade. InfoWars started pushing a bunch of crusade merch, too. Yeah, let's go back. Let's go take it. Let's go take it and worship Jesus together over there.
Bringing it up is that this is the history of it. He bought tracts of land from a sultan. So now, wait a minute. Is it the sultan's fault, too? Right? I mean, the sultan's the one selling the land to the Rothschilds. So if a Turkish sultan sells the land, then he's also part of the problem. They wanted to buy the Western Wall and so forth, but they weren't successful at that time. So this is before political Zionism. They had a long-term plan. Moses Hess in his book talks about how
Yeah, and rabbis and Jews had plans to return to the Holy Land before any of these books you're talking about. He's trying to act like Israel is some like globalist European conspiracy. That's what he does. It's not Judaism. It's secular people. They're not trying to fulfill their prophecies and go back and rebuild the temple. But then again, he does think they are, because the Antichrist has to rule. He needs the Antichrist for Jesus to return.
In the 1860s, the Rothschilds were already planning and promoting the idea of the building of the temple.
A rabbi sent him a letter asking him to buy the Temple Mount.
And this is because they believed, I'm talking about Hess, Herzl, Weizmann, they believed that the nation state of Israel would be a new world order for the Jews. It would be the place that would control the world from their perspective and save the world, because they didn't believe in an actual Messiah. These were more atheistic socialist Jews that believed that the race of Jews and that Judaism itself could be a kind of beacon to the nations to promote socialism.
And there were Jews also that thought once they have the state of Israel, the Messiah will come. They got to have the state, rebuild the temple, and then the Messiah will come.
Communism. And I'm not for that. I'm saying that was their attitude. And in 1862, Moses...
I covered this like 2017.
We will, because of the funding and the support of the Rothschilds, who have devoted their energy and capital to the rebuilding of the holy city and the temple. So this was planned a long time ago in a political way. There's a Vatican II document about politics post-Vatican II. It's called Gaudium et Spes. It's one of the official documents of the papacy, and it teaches Marxism and socialism. It teaches chain migration, open borders. It teaches demilitarizing, getting rid of nation states.
Dude, more attacking the Vatican.
Getting rid of Christian states and a kind of global economy.
Which I'm all for.
Socialist and Marxist.
I'm all for
The last pope had a quote where he said, "I don't want to hear about Christian roots of Europe. And we need to accept more migrants, but they don't take any in Vatican City."
Well, there's a giant wall around the Vatican. That was the Leonine Wall. That was
biggest I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've been to it. I've seen it.
At some points, it's like 200 feet tall.
It's a city-state. Like
on average, it's about 80 feet, but some of them are like 200 feet. Like it's
huge. And it has. If you go to the Vatican Museum, I mean, it's just this vast trove of just you couldn't even put a price tag on how much is in the Vatican Museum. It's massive. That's what's behind the wall if you go there.
Dude, Adam King should do a show with Jay Dyer and talk about all the treasures in the Vatican vaults.
So I think that people need to realize that the Vatican, if a lot of the Roman Catholics are they talk about Jews all the time, but I mean the papacy teaches that Judaism is a path to God. But Nostra Aetate says this.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to be mad at this idea of Judaism, well, then you should be mad at the Vatican, because the Vatican basically supports all the same rabbinic ideas. So I don't know why.
Dude, you just said that you have the same exegesis as Jews. How can he say this and not have any self-awareness? Like, oh, if you got a problem with Judaism, like, then you have a problem with the Vatican, but not Eastern Orthodoxy. Like, we have nothing to do with Judaism. Yeah, we're like the fulfillment of Judaism and the continuation of Judaism. We're like Messianic Judaism for the Gentiles, but like...
A lot of the Roman Catholics are, they talk about Jews all the time, but I mean, the papacy teaches that Judaism is a path to God.
Yeah.
But no,
he's just seething over. All of this is because he's seething over Groypers and Nick Fuentes right now. That's what this is.
So if you want to be mad at, this idea of Judaism, well, then you should be mad at the Vatican, because, the Vatican basically supports all the same rabbinic ideas. So I don't know why there's an inconsistency.
Well, how does the Pope not take one illegal alien, but he's got a 150 foot or whatever that is wall, and then it's just ridiculous.
Well,
Theosophist Society recognizes but one enemy to all, namely, hold on, I missed the rest of that.
actually argue that on the whole, when you visit Orthodox parishes, even they're like a Russian Orthodox parish, unless it's very, very tiny, you'll find it to be very diverse. And I don't mean that in some shit lib way. I mean it in like a good way. Like, I mean, we've got some Hispanic people at our parish. We've got some, ethnic Russian.
Oh, that's funny. Hold on, we'll finish this clip. And
some Hispanic people at our parish. We've got some, ethnic Russians at our parish. We've had some Japanese people join the church.
This was the moment when Blonde heard enough. That moment right there. The head nod was, she says, oh, I get it now.
Church. We've got Greeks at our parish. We got like a legit diversity. I think we had a couple black people visit, but they live kind of far away. So my experience
we got legit based Orthodox diversity. Diverse nations all worshiping the King of the Jews, just like the Jews always dreamed of.
My experience has been that like everybody's pretty open to that. There have been some cases where people have encountered very cliquish parishes that are like, oh, we really don't want non-Greeks here or non-Russians here. But I think that's probably in the minority. I think that actually argue that on the whole, when you visit Orthodox parishes, even they're like a Russian Orthodox parish, unless it's very, very tiny, you'll find it to be very diverse. And I don't mean that in some shit lib way. I mean it in like a good way. Like,
it's like based Orthodox, universal, all the world worshiping the King of the Jews together, just like the prophets called for. It's like based diversity, based Jewish globalism diversity. You know what I mean? Super based.
I mean, we've got some Hispanic people at our parish. We've got some.
Best clip. Here's the response. Here's Jay Dyer's transcendental argument. You can't prove me wrong unless you agree with me that my God is real. You can't say my God is bad or fake without objective truth acknowledging my God is real. Checkmate, atheist.
Shouldn't have guns. He talks about disarmament, but he has armed Secret Service.
The Swiss Guard.
Not just them, actual Secret Service.
Yeah.
That have guns. Like he's got like a team. If you get to pull up the Pope with his.
No, I know. You're not just the ceremonial Swiss Guard. They've got the other.
No, there's a name for the papal Secret Service. Something that starts with a V. I can't remember the name of the word.
Did you even know up in Switzerland, most people don't know this, they actually have a military up there, the Vatican has.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's a geopolitical situation, and the papacy has been tied into this kind of stuff for a long time. It's unfortunate. I don't hate Roman Catholics. Got a lot of Catholic friends, Tim Gordon, people like that, but I just don't think that if we're talking about solutions, an entity that has already adopted as its dogma and Gaudium et Spes, Marxism, socialism, is not going to be a thing that's going to provide healing. And that's why Roman Catholics are always talking about politics. But the politics of the Vatican is already garbage. The Pope just said, again, have open borders. I just put it on my Twitter. He just said,
I know. I know a lot of Catholics are great people. They're like, oh, this new Pope will be different. He is attacking Trump, everything.
He's worse than Francis because he's explicitly allowing for gay processions. He approved that with James Martin, the famous gay Jesuit. He's saying more than Francis.
I love when the Catholic Orthodox schism fight about who's more kosher, and they just like expose each other. It's great.
You need to have open borders. You need to have open borders. You need to have open borders. He just did a giant ecumenist world religious ceremony the other day too. So no, you're not going to get healing.
Yeah, he blessed a block of ice to stop climate change.
Being fixed with tools of the power structure that we're talking about today.
The left is celebrating the tyrant.
Okay, how much more, Jay? We're just going to keep doing Jay Dyer segment until you guys have me hit the goal. Actually, we're almost towards the end of that, but let's do some of these see-through dolls.
Orthodox Christianity believes in the potentiality.
Yeah, we can't just oppose their system. What do we do?
Well, I'm a huge proponent of Orthodox Christianity. Orthodox Christianity believes in the potentiality of man, not on his own, but through divine grace to actually achieve the types of things that this book is talking about in an occult way, but in a real way. So the real experience, the direct experience of God.
See, so we're going to fight the satanic globalist with the real way, which is Jesus globalism, which is universal Jew worship. Like I've always said, these guys are fighting. So much of the conspiracy world are dominated by Christians, and everything satanic and evil is the boogeyman. And in the name of fighting the satanic New World Order, they're ushering in the Jewish Messiah New World Order. Perfect example of that right here.
Talking about in an occult way.
The Jay Dyer show. Does he have an official show on InfoWars now? He took Owen's spot. Man, I didn't think I could hate InfoWars anymore. They left Owen and took Jay Dyer. Oh, the Jay Dyer show.
But in a real way. So the real experience, the direct experience of God is what Orthodox Christianity is all about. Orthodox Christianity, I think, is the solution. We've helped tens of thousands of young dudes convert to Orthodoxy, out of Protestantism, out of Rome. I think that's where.
How did you start out religiously?
I was raised Baptist and not super serious, but.
What got you into like Russian or Greek Orthodox or same thing?
Well, they're all kind of the same in terms of the faith. It's just the different nation groups and sections or jurisdictions of it. But it's the same confession. It's the same confession of Christianity the first 1,000 years. Even the Pope admitted, Pope Ratzinger admitted in one of his books that Orthodox Christianity is the Christianity of the first 1,000 years. And Rome is really the one that kind of deviated, got really political. But no, I just want to say that, I think, again, Orthodox Christianity is the answer. A lot of young guys are turning to that. So go check out, local Russian Orthodox church, something like that.
I need to infiltrate a Russian Orthodox church. I'll go kiss the hand there. Kiss the hand of my Rabbi Wizard church father and his big old shoulder robe. I think I got a picture of Jay Dyer's church father. Here it is. First thing. So here he was the other day at church with this couple here. See their clothes closely? And there they are with their church father right there. So, what was the actor's name? Whitaker? Forrest Whitaker. Father Forrest Whitaker. Jay Dyer, thumbs up with the puka shells and everything. I wonder if he kisses the. It's tradition in Orthodox churches to kiss the hand of their father, so he's kissing that Jesus tat.
I just don't get like why. I don't know. I just don't get like why God would like choose like a people like supreme over others and stuff. Like I don't know. I know you think like they're chosen to bring in the Messiah and stuff like that, but I don't know. Like. I don't really like that, I guess.
Okay, well then go be a pagan. That's your choice. You have the see if you enjoy that world and see if that works out for you. So all the dumb pagans, salvation is of the Jews. Yeah, I do agree.
All you dumb pagans. Jay Dyer just hears my name and literally starts chimping out like an ape.
Where are you getting your information about what the Old Testament teaches? I'm confused as to because I don't think that you're reading the text and just coming to these conclusions. You're hearing Adam Green or somebody tell you.
Yo, Adam Green is the man.
Okay, so you're an idiot. That's fine. We wasted our time.
That's what he does when he hears my name. Oh, you're like listening to Adam Green, who just like plays clips of me and talks about the messianic prophecies where all the goyim need to worship the King of the Jews. Oh, you're just listening to like Adam Green, who like knows exactly what all the rabbis say and all the messianic prophecies, and because clips me up. That See Through It All clips me up all the time, and you're just like listening to that, like listening to Adam Green play clips of me. Like, come on. You're not a serious person. You don't even believe in vegan sharks. You're not a serious person. You don't even believe in the magical Jews and their magical prophecies. You're not a serious person.
Well, then go be a pagan. That's your choice. You have the see if you enjoy that world and see if that works out for you. So all the dumb pagans, salvation is of the Jews. Yes, we do agree that in principle what Origen is saying is correct. It's just that the spiritual Judaism that he's talking about is Christianity.
Jesus says salvation is of the Jews, John 4:22.
So?
Romans 2, he's talking about Gentiles. He's saying he is a Jew who is one inwardly a Jew. And then in Revelation,
that means a Christian.
We're all Jews.
Spiritual Jews are Christians.
Spiritual Jews are Christians.
The only way to be Abraham's seed is to...
Where are you like learning about theology from like that neo-pagan Adam Green? Doesn't even understand orthodoxy.
Be in the seed, whom Paul identifies in Galatians 3 and 4 as the person of Christ. Who is a Jew? Well, it's the person who has faith in the ultimate Jew, Christ. The apostles themselves, who are all Jews. The church is vibrant.
Hey, Adam, your sources are like rabbis. Hey, Adam, why do you believe the rabbis?
Hebrew.
It's the Judaism for the nations.
The only Orthodox church of the Old Testament is the Jews. Paul says in Romans 3 that Jews of the Old Testament had the oracles of God committed to them.
The Jews are the oracles entrusted with the oracles of God, the spokespeople of God.
Jesus says in John 4, salvation is of the Jews against the Samaritans. Orthodox Christianity is the real Messianic Judaism. I think the Orthodox position is the real correct view of Hebrew roots and Messianic. Orthodoxy is the real Messianic Judaism. And
we're the real Messianic Jews now.
Isaiah 49 and 50.
And you pagans worship demons. The Jewish Bible told me so. Paul told me that. You pagans like worship fallen angels, demons, and you need to like get on your knees and become Orthodox and be a spiritual Jew worshiping the ultimate Jew. Otherwise, you're like not a serious person. You should like go be a neo-pagan or something. Because like, you know,
I read about it in a book.
It says that when the Messiah comes, nations will begin to convert. Kings and queens will worship the Jewish Messiah, fulfilling the types of things predicted, for example, in Isaiah 49 and 50, where we're told that Gentile kings will become priests and worship the Jewish Messiah. I'm showing you that the Gentile kings and queens that are prophesied...
All the Goyim kings and queens, every knee will bow, all the Goyim, Isaiah 49, licking the dust of their feet, trembling in fear.
In Isaiah 49 and 50, they're the people in the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th century that convert the Roman Empire and the other nations to worship the God of Israel. It's the entire Gentile world coming to worship the God of Israel. Do you understand how...
Zero F sent $5 on Rumble. I was raised a Christian. You make sense about everything you say, though. I never understood the Jew overlap. You don't believe in the Big Bang, do you? What do you think about the Creator?
I think there could be endless, infinite Big Bangs. The idea of like people, and they might be wrong about Big Bangs altogether too. It could just be some different expansion or something. But on the other side of every black hole could be what we think of as a Big Bang, and it goes on endlessly forever. Fractal universe, infinite universe.
Tales of the Levant sent $5. All these brain rot Christians remind me of the loony cultists on Game of Thrones.
Yeah, they did a good job depicting them. You're right. Like Isaiah 49 says all the Gentiles are going to worship the God of Israel, like because the Jewish prophecy foretold it. What does Isaiah 49:23 say? They will bow down before you with their faces to the ground. They will lick the dust at your feet. Then you will know that I am the Lord. Isn't that great? Where are you like learning about like what the Old Testament says from like that neo-pagan Adam Green?
Impossible that would have seemed even in Jesus's day. How can all of the nations worship the God of Israel when the God of Israel demands that you worship in Jerusalem? It's not even possible.
You have to be Noahides.
Gentiles would be converted. They didn't know that their own people would put the Messiah to death, that he would be resurrected, and that he would open the covenant to all the nations. The Messiah will come and be a light unto the Gentiles. Read the Gospel of John. John cites Isaiah, saying that when Jesus went and preached to the...
Come on, bro, the law will come forth from Zion, just like Isaiah says. Come on, just like the Jewish prophets who are entrusted with the oracles of God said, like all the world, all the Goyim need to worship the King of the Jews. Like that's the plan. That's what God wants.
The Messiah will come and be a light unto the Gentiles.
Come on, dude, the Jews and the Jewish Messiah is like the light to the world. We all got to follow it.
Read the Gospel of John. John cites Isaiah, saying that when Jesus went and preached to the Gentiles, that was fulfilled.
That was fulfilled. Like they invented a Messiah that goes to the Gentiles to get all the Gentiles to worship the Jewish God, and it's all fulfilled, and it's all real, it's totally real, and it's all good. Dyer says his number one proof that Christianity is real is that Jesus fulfilled like hundreds of prophecies, as if it's impossible to write a story fulfilling prophecies when you know all the prophecies.
I also look at argumentation from like messianic prophecies and these kinds of things, which have actually been pretty strong in arguing against Muslims. I know that's not what we're here to talk about tonight, but I do think that they are good sort of attestations to the truthfulness of Christianity. If Christianity is true, we would expect to see things like prophetic things that do objectively come true that we can go verify.
Dude, you're like not a serious person. You don't believe in the magical prophecies. Imagine thinking that it's more likely that a magical Jew walked the earth and fulfilled hundreds of magical Jewish prophecies, and not just that some Jews knew all the scriptures and wrote a story fulfilling prophecies. That's the argument. Has Jay Dyer ever done a video addressing that? Will Jay Dyer debate that with anybody? No, it doesn't happen. That's the $1 million question. How could you be so naive and gullible to think it's more likely that a virgin was born, somebody rose from the dead, all of these walked on water, all of these magical things, the Jews were really chosen, all the prophecies are fulfilled, all of this magic and miracles is required, or just some Jews wrote a story? Some Jews engaged in the tradition of midrash and writing peshers. It's not hard to fulfill prophecy. It's not hard to write part 2 of a story when you know part 1. But like all the prophecies are fulfilled. The Old Testament is true because it's fulfilled in the New Testament, and the New Testament is true because it fulfills the Old Testament. It's circular, but that's okay because like when you're a Christian apologist, you can say circular arguments, and it's all kosher, bro.
So basically the transcendental argument and then, the reliability of prophetic predictions, I think, are the strongest claims for Christianity.
More magical prophecies are like all totally real, bro.
I don't know.
The Jews were right about everything, man. They predicted it all. Vegan lions?
Our bodies to, take in nutrients from meat, fats, and our guts. All of that is post-fall.
Look, I'm wearing the same shirt. Oops.
I mean, the very makeup of our bodies to, take in nutrients from meat, fats, and our guts. All of that is post-fall configuring, so to speak.
We're like, our bodies are like configured differently after the fall, and like sharks and all these predators that are just like killing machines, like they were totally different, and then God just like magically changed them. But like evolution's not true. That's a heresy, and that's Jewish.
Do they preach this?
No, but I mean, that doesn't really have anything to do with whether it's true or false, because you can read Father Seraphim Rose's book Genesis, Creation, Early Man, and I mean I'm holding to the traditional view.
I'm just like appealing to the church fathers that like have to say that the Jewish Genesis story is true. See Through It All says the Jews predicted that Gentiles would worship a Jewish Messiah someday, and now we do. So that's proof Christianity is real. Because you're stupid enough to convince people that their Bible is true and you need to worship the God of Israel. You fulfilled their prophecies. You fulfilled Jewish prophecy by worshiping their God and the Messiah. But you don't understand how you've been conned. I'm appealing to the authority of Seraphim Rose and the church fathers, and if that's what they say, so like I turn off this little section in my brain and I just get in line like a good sheep, and I just trust the plan and trust these guys dressed up. Oh, dude, these people.
World, it was that.
You believe that there was no predatory behavior between the animals? Like it didn't.
Correct. The Orthodox view is that the functioning of the natural world prior to the fall was much different than it is now. So it's a very metaphysically different world.
Yeah, like the lions and their big old canine teeth made for ripping apart flesh, and their stomachs evolved specifically for consuming meat. It was totally configured differently. It was like metaphysically differently before the fall. It was different. And they were all vegans. They went from being vegans until Adam and Eve took the fruit from the serpent, and then they started eating meat because it was a perfect world back then. Like, imagine taking these kooks seriously. Vegan sharks.
You believe that there was no predatory behavior between the animals? Like, it didn't...
Correct. The Orthodox view is that the functioning of the natural world prior to the fall was much different than it is now. So it's a very metaphysically different world.
Yeah, they were like metaphysical vegan lions. Jesus turned them into meat eaters, right? Okay, what else do we have here? Christians want to be spiritual Jews mix?
Who wrote it doesn't mean
Oh, God. I think we proved our point there. Let's see here. I don't know if I can handle anymore.
On the throne of the EU.
Who was a Nazi, right?
But let's hear their...
They envisioned a Hitler character after World War I to build it up to launch another war later.
Yeah, that's what Quigley's basically saying about World War II. And in the book, there's a whole chapter called the Dual Appeasement Plan, where the British elites were meeting with Hitler regularly through Ribbentrop.
I can't do Jay Dyer's 20 minutes of Jay Dyer's bullshit history.
Labor Party. So
Carol Quigley
wrote in 1952, Impact of Science on Society. He says that biological warfare is more effective for mass depopulation than war. And this will be inevitable as we move towards global governance.
Dude, tell me that's not how teenage girls and grandmas mark up their books. Big. That is big. Star, star, star. Those are satanic Star of Renfams. Birth control, war, Black Death. And then people were calling him out on this, and he's like, this is how scholars do it. That's what he said. This is how scholars remember things. That was his excuse when people were clowning on him. This is how serious scholars actually learn things and mark up their books.
To 103 and 104.
And my hair is much thicker than it has been.
Oh, my God.
I have good hair.
Alex Jones rails against globalist elites, but then cites book author Carol Quigley, endorsed by Bill Clinton at the Democratic Convention. All right. Christian. All right. I think we're going to close it there. We're going to cover the rest of this stuff tomorrow. But we are going to go out today to a See Through It All mix. So thanks, everybody, for the donos today. We didn't meet the goal. We'll get it tomorrow. We had a huge day on a late night Friday show. The last couple streams I've done late at night. So sorry if you guys were mad that you missed it. But we're back to our regularly scheduled program. And I will be back tomorrow around 2 p.m. Eastern, maybe 3 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, everybody, for the support. I love you all. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. Clip up parts of the show. Create accounts. Get them out there. We're up against incredible odds. We're inundated and overrun by Christ brains and Abrahamic Matrix agents.
The Christian world will worship a Jew.
See you guys tomorrow.
You are going to worship a Yid.
Thanks, Jay Dyer, for making this possible. Thank you, Fuentes and Alex Jones and Jay Dyer, for making this possible.
The Christian world will worship a Jew as their God. You are going to worship a Yid. Not only do they serve us, they worship a Yid. Esav will worship Yaakov. Let's serve a Jew, worship a Jew. Before the religion of Christianity, the Romans worshiped the stars, they worshiped the constellations. As soon as they decided to adopt a religion, what kind of religion did they adopt? They didn't worship a God. They took a Yid. They took a Jew. You're going to worship your brother, says Yitzchak to Esav. You're going to suffer the indignant fate that if you ever want to come close to God, you're going to have to worship a Jew. You're going to deify a Jew. You're going to consider a Jew a God, Eloki. That's the bracha, esachicha tavoid. They have to worship a Jew. That is their religion. They worship the Jewish people.
I just want to say this to our Christian friends, you know. You guys are worshiping one Jew. That's a mistake. You should be worshiping every single one of us.
When they took one Jewish kid and they turned them into something that is divine, he says this is actually a form of Christianity.
is a violent contradiction, obviously. Yeah, well, I worship a Jew. Jesus was a Jew. So faith in Jesus is not anti-Semitic. So Jesus does not contradict the Old Testament. He claims to be the fulfillment of the law, the fulfillment of all those Old Testament prophecies.
The idol that they worship was a Jewish person.
Jesus being a Jew for better or for worse, and the nations are still bowing down to a Jew regardless of his status.
Jesus himself was Jewish. You know, don't forget that part of this. That there's never been a more influential human being in the history of the world. For me, he's Messiah. Maybe he's not for the Jews. They don't see him that way. But even they won't deny the incredible influence that he had, or that he was Jewish.
So who would you say Jesus of Nazareth, the man, the historical man that Christians point to as our God, who do you think that he was in history, if not God?
It's most likely that he was an Orthodox Jew, just like me. We would do the same rituals that I do today. He would do. If he's resurrected tomorrow, he would never have had been in the church.
The Jewish people gave us the Old Testament. They gave us King David. They gave us Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world. They gave us St. Paul, who is the founder of the New Testament church. Simply said, without the Jewish contribution to us, we would have nothing.
Tiny Hats, Chosen People Magic Book.
There is no greater partnership in the state of Israel and the believing Christians around the world.
I encourage Christians all over the world, you must make your journey to Israel.
How can I not be happy when I see millions of goyim bow down to one Jew?
So you get all these conspiracy theorists that go, the Jews rule the world. No, they don't.
Fueled by Satan himself. It's a spirit, and the spirit behind anti-Semitism is the spirit of Antichrist. And I believe what every Christian should understand is the same spirit that drives the hatred of the Jewish people will ultimately drive the hatred and persecution of the Christian church. So it's incumbent upon us to be advocates for the Jewish people, to use our voices, certainly to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, but to use our voices and our influence to be advocates for the Jewish people in our communities, in our nations. We've got to repudiate what we've been seeing on college campuses, celebrated college campuses in the streets of too many of our cities. And if the church will take its place, I believe it'll bring a reciprocal blessing to us, even in our nation. So it's an important time for us not just to watch this and imagine it's political. It's a very spiritual battle. We're indebted to the Jewish people. You know, our Messiah is an observant Jewish rabbi. Without the Jewish people, we have no covenants, we have no story, we have no Messiah. We wouldn't know the character of God, so we're indebted to them.
The enemy, Satan, has always tried to destroy the Jewish people. The Messiah was going to come through the Jewish people, and for the second coming, it's when the Jewish people call on the Savior and they finally realize who he was that ushers in the second coming of Christ. So that's why there's still a satanic hatred of the Jewish people and an irrational global rise of anti-Semitism all over the world.
He will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, is Lord to the glory of God the Father.
In Isaiah 49 and 50, it says that when the Messiah comes, nations will begin to convert. Kings and queens will worship the Jewish Messiah.
Spiritual Jews are Christians.
And we see people like Adam Green, who I did a debate.
Observe what they're supposed to ultimately observe, the Noahide Code.